listening to the decision reel.
Hey, welcome to the Decision Reel Movie Review Podcast, where we try and fail to review movies of today and yesterday. This week, we're looking at a movie picked by Tara.
See.
But not her original pick by Tara.
No.
Because snow.
Snow.
Snow. Just snow. But this week, what are we doing?
Best in show.
Best in show. What? And was there any reason specifically? You're just like,
no.
We need a movie.
When you said let's switch it up last minute, I was just thinking of because you mentioned comedy.
Yes.
And I was
Yes, comedy.
honestly, my brain just was like, what's an obscure comedy? Like one that like is known, but I know I haven't seen it in a while,
Sure.
and it's not like, a recent.
Yeah, and it's not in the forefront of, what people talk about.
So.
Okay, I like it. Also, back again this week, Tiffaney is here. Thanks for being on again and joining us because, again, snowstorm, days rescheduling.
Boys.
It's always hard. Boys, getting them down over a bridge, driving more than 40 minutes. It's hard. There's only one place that we can do this at, which is the new studio. It's got to be good here. Anyways. So, yeah, we're doing Best in Show. The plot of Best in Show, a behind-the-scenes look into the highly competitive and cutthroat world of dog shows through the eyes of a group of ruthless dog owners. Ruthless?
I mean, not aggressively ruthless, but ruthless as in ruthlessly committed and dedicated. Maybe.
How about instead of ruthless, a group of eclectic dog owners?
I mean, they're definitely that. That's for sure.
A group of sassy dog. Well, that could be a couple.
They're also
ones.
a group of. I'm trying to think of a better word for like super obsessed with this. Like committed sounds too
Tame.
Dog lovers.
I mean, we're dog lovers.
True.
We're not
okay.
like that.
Obsessive dog lovers?
It is. It does feel
Yeah.
obsessive, but like.
Wouldn't that be the dog show circuit would probably be just like this though? Let's
Well, yeah,
be real.
because it's basically like the beauty pageant circuit.
Right. Which and let's be real, those are just as crazy, if not more crazy,
I think
because
they're
these are
crazier than this.
I mean, well, yeah, but also the dogs aren't saying things or anything.
I mean, they are saying stuff, but yeah, we don't know exactly what they're saying.
Yeah.
Probably the same thing that the child beauty pageant contestants are saying. I don't want to be here.
At least the dogs don't have to wear fake teeth and stuff.
You don't know that.
That's
They have doggy dentures.
what do they call them? Flappers or something? I think
That would
that
make
really?
sense.
or flippers
Flippers.
or something. They just pop them.
Yeah, they pop them in.
like give them like little kid dentures.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do. Sometimes you lose them teeth and you need teeth to eat. So, especially dogs, you can't
It just doesn't
just.
feel realistic because like kids don't have a full mouth of straight teeth. Toddlers don't have full mouths of teeth like that. of
Yeah, but you got to
adult
look
teeth.
good.
I guess.
You can't show up with a tooth missing. I mean, you can, but you're gonna get docked some points.
That's what I'm saying though. That's just weird.
Can you imagine if that was an aspect of the dog show? Like, you see those memes with the dogs and they steal their owner's dentures. Could you imagine if that was like an extra part of it?
That would be hilarious. And I think we need to petition them to have let's say, a funny part of the dog show, and that's part of it.
One would have
Well-
like the chiclet teeth,
That would be
very
funny.
white ones.
Right.
Well, what's funny is that like in
Tic Tacs.
the dog show world,
Yeah, so.
the dog needs to fit what the like categorical definition of that breed looks like.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like
Okay, I get what
I
you're
couldn't
saying.
enter my Australian Shepherd with a tail
Right.
because the tail based off of the description of the breed is a docked tail.
I got what you're saying.
Or like a Doberman with
with their
unpinned
ears.
ears.
Right, right.
Your Doberman needs to have pin. I don't know if that's changed in recent years, but I know it used to be the case where it needed to fit the stereotypical image of. Meanwhile, in like toddlers and tiaras pageantry, clearly not, because those toddlers need to look like they're 70-year-old women.
They look like Kardashians,
with-
so let's be real.
poofed up hair and teeth and stuff. It's like the opposite.
Boofed up. Did you say boofed up?
Poofed up.
Poofed up. Okay, I was going to say boofed up might be something else.
I mean, maybe.
They're probably, let's be real.
don't know.
Yeah. Where to watch Best in Show. I didn't know this was a thing, but if you have a subscription to YouTube TV, you can watch certain movies on there. I thought it was you still have to pay or rent things, or there's also free movies just on YouTube. Unless that's a YouTube premium feature.
I don't know. I don't have a YouTube thing. I mean, I have a regular YouTube.
Right.
Yeah, I don't pay for extra.
I don't have any like.
You don't pay for extra.
No, I mean, I have my separate account on my phone.
Oh.
So I don't use yours.
What are you watching on there? K-dramas?
Like Korean stuff, so I don't want to mix yours up.
I mean, but you still do.
Korean
Yeah.
stuff.
Half of my algorithm on YouTube is just Korean
Pop.
K-pop
You're welcome.
stars.
Sorry.
I mean, some of them are pretty good, but
I mean, you like Squid Game, so
yeah, but that's not K-pop.
it's a K-drama.
It's K something.
Korean something, yes.
Whatever.
Anyways, to rent it, it's on Amazon regular YouTube, Google Play, Apple TV, and Fandango at home. This is written by Christopher Guest and Eugene Levy. Not Levy, Levy.
Levy.
Speaking of chiclets,
It's how I've always heard it said.
his teeth in this.
Oh my gosh.
Hilarious. I think he does the best, like, oblivious, obviously for the first part of the movie, but the best oblivious, like, guy who's just there for his wife forever until he just can't take it anymore. Which, that part where they meet that one dude in the hotel lobby, and he's just like, oh yeah, you waitress or whatever, 11 years ago or something, and he's just like, I've banged a lot of waitresses, but you were the best.
Like, just why would you? Her husband's right there.
You
Like,
don't
why
care.
would you just even?
It's because that's just the way.
I mean, it's one thing, like whatever they want to talk about as a couple, whatever they've accepted in
Sure.
each other's lives, but to walk up, and it happened more than one time,
Right.
it's
where
throughout the
one
whole
of her
movie.
lovers
Would
just
you
like
stay
was
with
commenting
someone
on it.
if that kept happening?
I think I would have snapped before him.
Questioned.
I mean,
past.
everyone has a past. Like, I'm not,
Sure.
I'm not, trying to judge someone because they
But if
slept
you're
around.
if you're
but,
going anywhere,
but do we really need to keep talking
Like
to
everywhere.
these people like that? Like,
well, okay, that. But if you're going everywhere and running into someone,
yeah.
I mean,
But I also feel like if I went out somewhere and I ran into like one of my exes and their wives or girlfriends, I'm not going to sit there and be like, "Oh my God, do you remember? Do you remember?
I'm
that
avoiding
that time. That
remember
time?
11 years
Like,
ago?
Well,
Right.
no, like I'm not having those conversations.
Well, that's because you're a decent person,
exactly
right? And this movie is clearly. It's weird too, right? Because every one of the couples, if you will, because that's really what it is, with their dogs are decent people,
Except that one guy.
except that one guy.
His bloodhound.
Oh,
Unless you count his puppet as his. other half, maybe.
Hilarious. But for the most part, they are like decent people. I would say Parker Posey and her, the Braces couple, she was a little.
much.
They both kind of were. Mm-hmm. When he
But
starts
perfect for each
yelling
other.
at her about going to get
Busy Bee?
the Busy Bee
Yeah, Busy
toy
Bee.
in the middle of everyone else there, and he's just like screaming at her to go get it. Oh my God.
And then she's doing the same thing to the hotel staff, and then like, are you even here legally? Like all this stuff. It's funny. What was the episode of How I Met Your Mother? The screaming or the where you scream to one person and it goes down?
He changed it because it was a chain of,
Yeah, right.
and then he changed it to circle of, and he was like, okay, whatever, guys, I like circle better.
Right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Trying to remember. It's been a while since I've
don't remember that.
rewatched.
It's because Marshall was getting yelled at
From his
work,
boss.
and he cried during it. He didn't like it, so he was like, Marshall,
Saul
you
Good-
need to yell at someone. You
Saul
need to do
Goodman
that."
was yelling at him, and then he yelled at Lily, and then Lily yelled at the kids at school.
He didn't, but he was saying that's what's going to happen.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
that's what, it's the chain. So like, he yells at you, you come home, you yell at Lily. Lily yells at her kindergarten kids, and oh, who's in her kindergarten class? Your boss's son, who then goes home and yells at him, and it's a
Right.
circle.
Yeah.
And so that's why it first was circle, and then he was like,
It's a circle.
okay, well, it's a chain now, guys.
It's a
Okay.
Circle. This is directed by Christopher Guest, who is who in this movie?
I don't know.
I swear it was the guy with the bloodhound.
Is it?
Maybe. What was his name?
I don't actually remember anybody's names in this, any of the characters' names. in the
I
movie.
don't either. That when
Except for
Yep.
Cookie.
yeah.
I was right. Harlan Pepper. That's Christopher Guest. So yeah, he is the
So the bloodhound.
yeah, the bloodhound.
I don't remember anybody's names except for Cookie, because it's Cookie. And
Well, if we want to know,
Yes,
this is
tell
starring
me.
Eugene Levy as Gary Fleck, Catherine O'Hara as Cookie Fleck, John Michael Higgins and Scott Donlin?
I remembered
Dolan?
Scott, too. I remembered Scott.
Sure. Michael McKean as Stefan Vanderhoof. Michael Hitchcock is Hamilton Swan. Parker Posey is Meg Swan. Jennifer Coolidge is Sherry Ann Cabot, or is it Cabot?
Probably Cabot.
Cabot? Sure.
Like the cheese.
Jane
Maybe
Lynch.
it's Cabot.
Oh, Cabot.
Oh, fancy.
All right. Jane Lynch is Christy Cummings. Christopher Guest as Harlan Pepper. Larry Miller as Max Berman. Linda Cash as Faye Berman. Jim Paddock as Trevor Beckwith. Fred Willard as Buck Laughlin. And Ed Bagley Jr. as Mark Schaefer. It's a lot of people.
Bagley Jr.
Like a lot of people in this movie. A lot of good people in this movie. A lot of, I don't want to say like at the top of their game type people, but definitely like at this point in time, not, I don't want to say has been, but like people who were in a lot of movies and then kind of faded away and they all came together and moved this, do this. And then they kind of, some of these people got bigger after this.
I was going to say, Eugene Levy
He only
did
continued to do more. All the American Pie
Pies
stuff.
after this.
this would be at, well, so the first
Wouldn't it?
American Pie would have been before
because
this.
this is from 99 or 2000.
You are very close. It would be 2000.
gonna
We'll
say,
get to
I
that.
think it's
We'll get to
2000,
that in a second. But yeah, so you got to think he only did the first American Pie was 99. So then the second one
He
I
did
think
like
was
11
2001.
more after that.
Right, but he was in a lot of other movies, obviously in the 90s and before those. One of my favorite 90s movies that he is in with Michael Keaton,
Multiplicity.
Multiplicity. Yeah, hilarious role.
You're in the wrong. Oh, these guys.
Like how
This is gonna cost you. Cost me.
it cost me, right? Yeah. And then the ending.
I'd like you to note the time. You're 2 hours late. What? And doesn't even recognize that they're all
The same person. And that's the and who could he have called?
You said you got your own guys? Yep, right here.
Was that movie
right,
before
let's go.
this one?
Yes, that
That
was
was
like
what year was that?
90s,
90s,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
Oh,
90.
okay.
Maybe
maybe?
something around there, 94, 96,
Yeah.
probably 95.
I should know because it's one of my favorites.
There you go.
So
Should.
good.
What are you
So
doing?
good.
This is rated PG-13 for language and sex-related material. Now, it almost was rated R, but they took out some things with drug use.
Oh.
Who would you think, character-wise, would be doing drugs?
Scott.
It was
With the one with the braces?
It was a woman.
Oh. Jennifer Coolidge? Maybe.
No.
No, it wasn't. I think it was Parker Posey.
Oh, okay.
So her character was what?
I just immediately thought Scott. Michael Higgins. What's his
John
name?
Michael Higgins. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Just because for some reason, especially with his like that velvet suit he's wearing in the last round, I could just see him with some cocaine real quick.
When he walks
just
in,
like a bump. It was the vibe, you know what I mean? It fit the vibe. Just
when
like,
he walks in with the first time he's walking the dog with that, just hilarious, but perfect.
Yeah.
And them having
Yep.
the kimonos. Also, when we were watching today, I told Tiffany, I was like, we just recently stayed in a hotel, and I was like, man, why aren't we putting our blankets and pillows in another suitcase just to go to the hotel?
It's just
bring
one
them.
more suitcase.
So what?
and then he nailed that like decorative tapestry.
Yeah.
That's
like,
what I said. Like, who does that?
Who does this to this extent? For like one night.
Right.
Hilarious.
Exactly.
That's wild.
Because they're extra, and
I'm
it was
surprised
great.
he didn't pull out like figurines and pictures and stuff to put on the nightstands and everything.
Incense burning.
Yeah.
His own
Like
candles.
full on making it his
porcelain
dojo.
figures, a nice little gong, if you will.
Yep.
What's the
His Mojo Dojo Casa house.
Right.
You know.
What's the thing with the sand that you put the little things?
Oh,
for?
yeah.
Oh,
the,
the
meditation,
Zen,
like
Zen
the
garden.
Zen, a little
Yeah.
Zen garden. He has a little Zen garden that just
Or
folds
one of
out
the
of that
one of the
one.
bonsai trees, the little
yep,
miniature
yep,
ones
yep,
you
yep.
clip
Snipping
that
it.
you like snip. Yeah.
Yep.
What do you do with the clippings?
I don't know.
Toss them.
So then,
It's not like you're propagating them like a plant that we have, like a snake plant or
okay, so you're
whatever.
just
It's not the same.
you're just clipping them and chucking them. Well, okay, if that's how it is, that's how it is. Runtime on this guy, super quick, in and out, 90 minutes.
Seems longer.
It seems longer because, like, when you look at the movie on the whole, nothing really happens, right?
Yeah, right.
It's slow and dry.
It's
So
literally
like,
just
so
people
that's
talking,
why it feels like it just drags through.
but not a bad.
Not in
drag.
a bad drag.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just mean
just-
it's very like
It's that dry humor.
dry, mellow, like yeah.
Okay, I'm going to get back to what I also said earlier today, which is if you like this movie and you like this style comedy, this is the same thing that Seinfeld is. So I just don't understand how you can't sit down.
You haven't gotten my rating yet.
I know you're going to like this movie. I know you're going to like it. What I'm saying is, I think if you really sat down and like was like, all right, let me, without a bias, without a, fucking gonna watch Seinfeld, I think you would enjoy it.
I used to hate Seinfeld until he forced it on me.
I didn't force it. I just watched it.
You forced everything on me. Let's be real.
Right.
Part of it is it for me is I find George so insufferable.
That is him and his parents are my least favorite.
But also Kramer.
So
Like he's
sometimes,
just so dumb. That
but
I'm
if
like,
you didn't
oh my
have
God.
them, they're like crucial parts of the show.
Right. So what you have to remember with Seinfeld is the idea of the show is these four people are the worst people in New York, right? And you're just watching them. You're not supposed to root for them. You're not supposed to like them. You're literally going, who's going to be the worst person to do the worst shit in this episode? But it all somehow works out for them. And it's great because it's relatable. The things they go through, what?
I was like, what was that noise?
She hasn't been around for all my random sounds that I make.
It's relatable. And still to this day, there's episodes where I watch where I'm like, yeah, that could happen. There's nothing that dates it so bad as like a show that came out like Mad About You. Like that's dated because all their problems were tied to like mostly the 90s or whatever. Now, obviously there's some things in Seinfeld that if they had a fucking cell phone,
Well, yeah.
that would fix a problem. But most of everything isn't tied to that time period of the issues they're going to. So I don't know. It's just, to me, you would like it.
I do find myself turning it on when I'm like trying to take a nap on the couch.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No, well, it's like you put stuff on at night before bed.
Yeah.
That
Like
comfort
something,
you.
like
True.
something you don't
So-
need to pay attention to, but
Right,
you
right.
also, it's not getting you
The background noise.
angst up either. Mm-hmm. It's a
That would
comfort
be-
show.
That would be a comfort. I got a lot of comfort shows.
I do
my
too.
God,
I do
yes,
too.
you
I mean,
cycle through
Friends, New Girl, Schitt's Creek, How I Met Your Mother. Like I could throw any of those on
Yeah.
as, and I don't mean this as an insult, but as throwaways because I don't need to pay attention. But
'Cause
if I
you've seen
am
it.
paying attention, I'm still entertained by it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Instead of a show where I would need to pay attention.
Yeah.
While I'm watching it.
I like Tiffany just said, I go through phases of shows where like, all right, this is what I'm watching, but as I'm going to sleep because it's putting me to sleep, but yet I still like to watch it and like watch a little bit of it before my brain's just like, all right, you're done.
Well, I also feel like some of those shows now, especially because I've seen them so much, like I could be laying there with my eyes closed and I'm still entertained by what I'm hearing because I know what it looks like. I've
Right.
seen the episode, but the jokes and stuff are
And,
still
and
funny.
that's
Like
what
I'm
he
still
does.
like,
Right, because
while I'm going to
they're
sleep.
the ones that we grew up with, like the 90s and 2000s. So like Home Improvement, Seinfeld, Titus. It used to be How It's Made when we first got together.
Yeah, I would watch the shit
And-
out of How It's Made.
And then Dirty Jobs.
Dirty Jobs.
What else? What am I
I'm on a
missing?
Mythbusters kick right
Yep,
now.
that one.
I don't
Oh,
know
shit.
why, but like I don't even want to put
the
it
myths
on.
have all been busted, Steve. Like
Not all of them,
what
but
are you getting out of them?
right. But it's a weird thing where I'm like I don't want to watch it at night, but then she'll fall asleep and I'll be there. I'm like, let's put an episode of Busters on and see what they're doing.
I will say now because there have been so many shows that, I mean, obviously it's well known I'm a Friends fanatic, but there have been so many shows now that I've fallen in love with over the years that now I could go months without seeing one Friends episode.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because there are so many other ones now that I'll throw on, like
Yeah,
Schitt's
like-
Creek
or
or
New
like
Girl,
New Girl
yeah.
or How I Met Your Mother, ones that I haven't seen as many times as Friends, but are still ones that I've seen enough where I don't need to pay attention to.
Sure.
They're still the comfort shows.
Right. And speaking of Schitt's Creek,
I
is this not the precursor to
know,
Schitt's Creek?
seeing them together.
Yeah, and it's funny because I know obviously this is 20 years,
She looks
24 years
different.
ago. She looks younger, but she looks different, right?
Like you would think that was a different person.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe it's the makeup. Maybe it's how they're trying to make her a
Makeup,
little.
the hair.
Well, and also, I mean, you even just the style that they had Moira wear. I mean, I basically
You're right.
think they just walked in and they were like, "What can we throw on her today?"
I feel
You
like
know,
they
and
made her look older in Schitt's Creek on purpose, because even if you watch the new Beetlejuice movie, she doesn't look as old as she does in Schitt's Creek.
I was wondering that. It might be the makeup in Schitt's
I was going to
Creek.
say, I don't know if they did it on purpose or if it just is what it is because she was wearing like heavy
dark
makeup
eyes
and
and-
crazy, like the wigs and the crazy jewelry and stuff like that.
Very true. I'm trying to get her. She's looking for a show to watch because she's like, I want to watch a show that has, that I don't need to pay attention to. I was like, well, you're watching best of show right now or whatever. What Schitt's Creek? It's right there. Go for it.
Love it.
And what do you think?
I'm between that and White Lotus.
Have you seen White Lotus before?
No.
And you didn't watch Schitt's Creek? Or you did watch Schitt's Creek?
No, I've seen some of it when he had it on during like his lunchtime, but then he finished it, and I didn't.
Those are
see much.
very different vibes.
Right,
So
so-
it definitely depends on what. But the thing with Schitt's Creek is it's at least the same story, same characters through
Yeah.
all the seasons, while White Lotus is a different show in the different seasons.
Oh,
So it's a different story.
did you watch it?
Yeah.
Did you like it? Mm-hmm. Okay.
I did. But it's more of a. What is it? There's only 2 seasons right now?
Yeah, there's only 2.
And then the third one is they've already, I think, released like who's going to be in the third one and what.
Is it a different cast every time as well, or?
So the White Lotus is the place.
Yeah.
It's the hotel.
Right.
It's the resort. So it's different locations. So like in the first one, it's this
Hawaii,
one. And then
right?
in the second one, it's a different one.
Okay.
It's like, I can't remember. It's like Greece or Italy or like something like that. And then in the third one, it's going to be somewhere else. So different people, because there's obviously different people working at these hotels and different people going to the different
There's
locations.
a pretty stacked cast in
Yes.
it, I thought.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, well, maybe I'll give it
I
a
actually
try.
think I feel like the only character that's repeated in the 2 seasons is Jennifer Coolidge. I think
Oh.
she's in both of them.
Like the 4th of July.
Interesting.
I guess the question
Makes
is,
me wanna want a hot
do
dog
you
real
wanna like laugh and have a good heartfelt story?
I mean, you'll still laugh in White Lotus. There are still
But a
entertaining
different
parts.
type
But there are
of
also
comedy.
heavy parts, and there is more drama.
Yeah, I will say it did take me. I had to force myself to keep watching Schitt's Creek at one point.
I will say, once you get through Schitt's Creek, when you go and you watch it again, it doesn't feel that
it
way
hits
because you
different, for
know
sure.
who they are, you know what the setup is. Now, and I used to feel that way about The Office.
Yeah.
Like I would even tell people, I'd be like, just skip the first season.
Yeah,
Like
there's
jump
a-
in.
yeah.
But I also feel like you don't appreciate the characters as much if you didn't push yourself through the first season. So
True.
like now, if I were to go back and watch The Office in the first season, I wouldn't hate it as much because
You already
I've been
went
through
through
it.
it,
I
yeah.
know I know where all the characters are going to end up. I know why we're doing it this way in the first season. I know
Right.
why they are the way they are. But that's how I felt I didn't feel that way in Schitt's Creek though. I mean, I was laughing out loud in the first episode, so I was like, I'm gonna keep watching.
Well,
this
no,
show.
I mean,
this isn't hard.
I liked.
I know. I'm gonna watch it.
I liked the first couple episodes, but it just felt like I was like, this ain't my style. Even though I love Eugene, I love Catherine O'Hara, I like the vibe of the show. Like, but I was just like, not for me, and I shelved it. I stopped. I didn't watch it. I think I watched. The
I know.
First,
I had to hassle you for so long. I feel like.
I feel like I watched the first 4 or 5 episodes, and I was like, I should at least by now be like, I want to keep watching, right? And it just nothing made me like, okay. And then it was either you or somebody else made a joke or said something, and I was like, oh, I did see a clip, and that was funny. Maybe I want to try it
probably
again.
was me, to be honest.
And probably David. And
Ew, David.
I don't remember if I started again from the beginning episode or I just picked it up because I watched it on Hulu, so it knew where
Yeah.
I was. I can't remember, but I was like, the first episode I watched afterwards, I was like, oh, I get it. This is great. And then I was
So maybe it was like a different mindset type of thing. Like you went into it being like, okay, this is how
think
I'm
so.
supposed to.
Right.
I'm supposed to take it this way.
I think I went in with a different idea of the show, and that turned me off of it. And then flipping the switch and going back in, I was like, oh, yeah, fuck, I'm in.
Well, I will say, because like in the beginning, when they're getting out of that lifestyle, they are supposed to kind of be insufferable. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like
right.
they were these really
The roses.
rich people who were not a close knit family. They were, they're very privileged. They're very expectant of that treatment, of that lifestyle. So in the beginning, they are a little unlikable.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to get through that. But I found humor in the way that they were acting, which is why I ignored the fact that they're not like, okay, obviously this guy is annoying right now, but he's hilarious. So I'm done. I'm in.
I mean, let's be real. Through the whole series, they're still kind of dicks.
they have their moments,
But they
for
come
sure.
around and they're better off for going through what they go through. And
Honestly, in that first episode where Alexis and David are unloading the van,
Yeah.
and they just start shushing and shutting up at each other. That 10-second back and forth, and then when he ends it with that "you shut up," like that. So hilarious to me because it doesn't feel like they're acting either.
No.
It just feels like it felt like a sibling frustrating argument.
And they stay the same to each other through the whole show. Let's be real. They're still brother and sister, and they're still,
They will still poke fun, even when they're obviously liking each other more and spending more time. They're still like, in the last season, even there's something she's doing, and he makes some joke, and he walks out, and she's like, "Lick rust," like I say that to Carrick all the time.
Yeah, lick it. Come on. Goddamn. Release date. Best in show. Tiffaney, you said a year.
Spot on, right?
Almost spot on. September 29th, 2000.
It's that Virgo energy. Actually, that's not a Virgo at the end of the month.
Well,
I don't know why I went there.
you're there. This movie's old.
Well, it doesn't feel old, but then again, I don't.
I mean,
feel old,
I guess it
getting
looks old.
We're
though,
old.
but like
We're all old.
the film.
It's 25 years
style.
old.
The
I mean,
actors
it's
are
shot
obviously
on
younger.
film too, so anything that's shot on film is going to already look older than it is. But also, I don't think this has ever gotten a remaster, which who cares?
No,
but
well, definitely not.
I don't think
But
you
why
could.
would they?
Yeah, I don't think. I think it needs that vibe. I think it needs that same.
It needs to feel old. It works for it too because it makes it look documentary-esque. Because I mean, isn't that sort of how
the
it's
point,
being
yeah.
shot? It's not like it is a documentary, but it kind of is.
Yeah.
Right. Which I kind of like that. So one
Well,
of
because
our
it does, because it shows them talking to someone.
Yeah.
Someone is asking them questions.
True,
Like sitting on
right.
couches and they're answering. So.
Yeah, one of our favorite shows recently that just ended, What We Do in the Shadows. I don't know if you've ever watched.
No, I mean,
No.
I had seen the movie.
The old
Movie,
movie.
yeah,
Yeah,
I had seen the movie, but I haven't watched the show.
So the show's got a different vibe. It's more.
It's funnier.
It's I
Out
think
loud funnier because it is dry. But
Oh, yeah.
the movie's really dry.
how have you seen the UK version of The Office?
No.
Okay, I was gonna say the UK version of The Office is the movie, and then the show is
Like the American Office.
like the American Office, but it's way better. It's hard to describe because the show's a different thing entirely than the movie. So comparing them together, you can't be like, well, the show's better than the movie or the movie's better than the show because they're completely different things. But it's shot in a documentary style, just like the movie is, right? But the funny thing is, I'm not trying to spoil anything, but the final episode, they do a final episode in a way I've never seen something done before. And again, I'm not going to spoil anything, but the way they do it with a documentary style, you're like, oh, that makes perfect sense to end a show this way. And you're like, yeah. And then you want to watch it again. So I don't know. I'd say highest recommendation there for that show. It's pretty funny. It's all over the place. It's our humor.
That's like what is the other one he produced and he was in? Our Flag Means Death?
Yeah.
Is that
Our
what
Flag
it
Means
is?
Death, yeah.
I'm just a big Taika fan.
Taika Waititi.
Love him.
I like him.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen that show either, which is on Max,
Great show.
HBO
You would
Max.
actually like that show.
I haven't. I've seen it come up
good.
before, and I just have. I think what it is I
I feel like it's woke.
it's really hard
I mean-
for me to
It
get
kinda
into
is.
to pick new shows these days. I feel like I feel like I do. I wait for seasons to come out, new seasons of shows that I've already started watching to come out, but getting started on brand new shows has been harder for me.
Well, the reason why it's hard for me is nowadays they're going to make a season and then they're going to go, oh, we'll make one more and we don't know what's going to happen. And then they just get canceled. I don't want to devote 2 seasons, 3 seasons of something and then be on the cliff of nothing's going to happen, right?
Have you guys watched Shrinking yet? Did you do
We
the
haven't-
Not
we
the
haven't-
new one
We
yet.
haven't started this.
I tell you though,
to.
I got to the end of the season. I said to Carrick, I said, I swear to God,
If they stop.
if they pull a Ted Lasso on me,
Yeah.
I only get 3 seasons of this show. Like because they had already said that a 3rd season is coming, so I knew at least I was getting as much as Ted Lasso, if not. But I was
Well,
like,
Ted
I
Lasso
swear.
did end, though, is what I'm saying when
I
there's
know,
a show
when
that
there's,
doesn't end.
like,
It
Weren't
Weren't
just
they
gets
Rita
trying to
cut.
make
died.
another season?
They're doing it without Jason
it's supposed to be,
Sudeikis or
yeah, it's
something,
supposed to be like a spin-off type more.
Like a before him or after him?
Well, I think some of the people I think are supposed to be featured in it. So I don't know if it's supposed to be before or not. But it's not Ted Lasso. He's Ted Lasso. So.
Right. So it would just be the whatever football team, probably.
Right.
FC.
But that's how I felt about Santa Clarita Diet.
Well, that's what I was going to bring up is they ended that on such a good cliffhanger that I have PTSD trying to start a new show that I know maybe it's not going to end good. So what I've been doing is I want to watch a show that I know ends.
That's already all the seasons are on there.
Exactly.
Yep.
So I'm going back and watching older shows because I know I'm going to get a payoff.
You'll get
I
through
know
them, yeah.
it's going to be something. You know what I mean? I mean, there's obviously a couple other shows that we're currently watching that are still in production.
I
or
rewatched
whatever,
Veronica
but-
Mars
Yeah.
recently. I watched the seasons of it, and then because you have to bounce around a little bit between the streaming apps.
Yep.
So I watched all the seasons
course.
and the movie
There is a movie, yeah.
on the one
The movie
app.
was new. It was like the
Yes, it was like a 10-year after, and then like another 4 years or something after that, they did a
Yes.
whole nother
Yeah.
season of Veronica Mars. So I think that the main seasons of the show and the movie maybe
in the movie
are on one app, but then you have to
probably.
go somewhere else for the show.
Yeah.
Or it's vice versa. It might be all 4 seasons, like the first 3 original, and then the newest season of the show are on one app, but the movie is somewhere else. It's something like that, but I still like it every time.
And but hold on. That brings me to my other problem of life. If I want to watch a show and I got to go through 5 different apps to watch it, I ain't gonna fucking watch it. I mean, let's be real. You know what I'm gonna do, but fuck that. Just like let's look at football this season or hockey this season.
All the different places you have to go to watch a freaking game.
It's
Like
ridiculous. It's stupid. Just I want to watch this team. I will pay how much money it's going to be. Give me all those games. I don't fucking care about everything
you
else.
pull them from wherever you need to pull them from.
Exactly.
You put them in one place.
You have the ability to do it. Obviously, you have all the feeds. What?
So speaking of shows.
Oh, no.
You know this movie, Best in Show that we're talking about?
Yeah.
Because it says show in the name.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Look at the segue.
Look at
The
that.
turnaround.
You're doing it better than me. You should be the host. You want to read the notes?
No.
You sure?
You might get through them.
Yeah, I can't read. It's hard for me
Maybe
to
next
see.
time.
I can't read.
Can't read good. Speaking of that, box office that week. This is September 29th, 2000. Well, the weekend of top 10. Number 10. This is where you're going to come in and tell us what these movies are. Beautiful.
I don't know. Oh, okay.
Just beautiful.
Just beautiful. In 2000. Never heard of it. Don't even know
Never
it.
heard of it.
Never heard of her. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
It wasn't about me.
It was a beautiful
just
mind.
beautiful.
Which one was it?
2000. So did you type beautiful?
Yeah.
Okay, go back up to the top, or
You'd think it would have.
you think it would come up? Just
Life
beautiful.
is Beautiful, 97.
97. More popular matches.
Beautiful Girl.
Beautiful, right there.
there's a
Mini
Mini
Driver.
That's
Driver.
2020.
No, that
2000.
yeah,
There we
Mini
go.
Driver.
Interesting.
So
Mini
I
Driver.
wonder if they remade it then.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Do you want me to
Is
play
that
the
a
trailer here?
is
No,
that a
no, we don't
beauty
do that.
pageant sash?
It might be, but let's read what does it say? Mona sacrifices everything, including family, in pursuit of a beauty pageant victory. Her friend Ruby helps her to an amazing. God damn it! What
you
is
know
this?
what
with-
though?
That's
What?
actually
Usually
really
when it's like a one
funny.
sentence like that, it's.
Oh no, you're gonna learn.
two.
IMDb just fucking does one
Oh,
sentence.
They're not
for you.
good. They're
There's
not
some people
good
in it.
at their,
Who's in it?
Go down.
Oh.
Just go down. Keep going down. Keep going. There you go.
Oh, that's
Keep
the little
going.
girl from Polly.
That's a little girl.
Isn't
from
it?
The Pepsi
yeah,
commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep going down. That's gonna tell you who's in
There
it.
we go.
Kathleen
oh my God,
Turner.
Kathleen Turner. That's Chandler's
Lorna.
dad.
I didn't know that was her. real
Bridget
name.
Wilson's in it.
Wow.
That Veronica Vaughn. Catherine Robinson. Oh, wow. She's a Scary Movie too. That's where I know her from.
Oh, wait,
Boss.
scroll up.
Linda Hart.
Michael McKean.
Oh, look at that. He's in 2 movies in the
And
same.
this top 10.
Interesting.
I would guess he's probably just a random
Yeah,
character in this one. Maybe he's like one of the beauty pageant judges or something.
probably. Number 9. What Lies Beneath.
Oh,
I don't know if I've really seen that movie.
I have. It's
Michelle Pfeiffer.
yes, and
Oh, and Harrison Ford.
Yeah, Indiana Jones.
yeah,
I love Harrison
but it's
Ford.
he like
It's really
she's-
good.
It's
Is this a
haunting
thrill?
Yeah,
because it's like a
Horror.
girl that he had an affair with but died.
The wife of a university research scientist believes that her Lakeside, Vermont home is haunted by a ghost or that she is losing her mind. Actually, so funny story about this movie. Do you remember when Target here had CDs and movies where the farm or where the groceries are?
Not over
No.
there. I always remember it being in the back where it is now.
No. So,
No, but I've only lived in St. Mary's since
oh, okay. Well, that Target
2016.
where all the groceries are. So, you know where like all the blenders and shit are at the end of that aisle?
Sure.
So, like, if you walk in and turn
the
left and walk
appliances.
all the way down, it's got like all the bowls and like appliances, whatever. That's where all the CDs were. And then where all the vacuums are, that's where the DVDs were. So I remember buying this DVD there and picking it up and going, fucking Indiana Jones, let's go. Michelle Pfeiffer, Catwoman, this is going to be great.
You watch it
Remember
and you were
that?
like, oh my.
Right. So it was good.
Yeah, it's solid.
I liked it. What's IMDb?
It's creepy for sure.
Yeah, there's a
Rating?
couple. Yeah, what's IMDb's rating on that? It's going to be 6.6. Whatever. But it's, I liked
Honestly,
it.
that
It's
feels
good.
right. 6.6 is not. That's not too bad.
Could you go
Yeah.
without seeing it?
Could I go without seeing it again?
Again in your life,
Again in my life?
Is it rewatchable?
I do think it's rewatchable, but at this point, I've seen it a couple times. I could probably go without again.
Well, would you
but,
suggest
like,
it to me since I've never seen it?
If you've never seen it, I would
Yes.
watch it with you because
Yes.
it's good. Shit, it's probably on Plex already.
Probably.
Knowing me,
What isn't?
some things like
and
Friends.
she's great in it.
Michelle Pfeiffer's great in anything. I mean, let's be real.
I mean, they're both good in it, but she just does a really good. She does a really good job of kind of like losing it, but also being very like that. I'm not gonna
movie.
say
It's a good
obviously
movie.
because
Is it
she's
just
gonna
me,
watch
or
it.
does
But
has he always looked the same age?
I
Yes.
do feel that way, and I think when people say like, "Oh man, he looks the same," it's like he's not aging, and I'm like,
Him-
no, I just feel like he's always looked
Him
aged.
and
Like, he's just always looked that
who
age.
is the other one? The one where he was in the movies with his Harrison Ford, and the other guy was in the one movie was about his daughter getting married, and then the second movie was about his older wife.
Steve
and his-
Martin.
Steve Martin.
Steve
is
Martin.
Short.
He's always looked the same age to me too.
It's the hair. So when you have like
Lighter hair.
but
lighter,
love them
older
both.
hair. Oh yeah,
I
Steve
love
Martin's
them
great.
both.
Also,
I feel
Harrison
like
Ford.
Robert Redford kind of too. I feel like he's always kind of looked the same.
Let's also be real. Men age a little differently than women too, right? Like you.
Well,
your
typically
features-
men age better than women.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Really? You think so? I don't know about
Look
now.
at that! Look at that picture of Tom Cruise and the lady he starred with in Top Gun. That's all you need to know.
Top Gun?
Top Gun. It's a meme already because
Jennifer Connelly?
she looks, and he looks Tom Cruise.
I think Jennifer Connelly still looks great.
Not
I
Jennifer
think he's
Connelly.
starting to age
which-
now. I've
who
seen
are
a
we
picture of
talking
him recently.
Whoever's on the back of the bike in Top Gun.
I don't know. I don't remember who she is.
I don't know, Tiffany. You can look it up.
I feel like
Top
that says,
Gun.
I feel like that says more than anything that I don't actually know who she is.
I'm not a big Top Gun guy.
I'm not either. Honestly, I did actually
Cruise.
like. See, look, Jennifer Connelly. Well,
Which
she was in
one?
the newer one.
This
The,
one?
Yeah, the
the
new
oldest
one.
one.
I'm
The
talking the
older
old
one.
that's the
Not
new
that one.
No,
The old, because she wasn't in
old one. We're going old.
Which one?
the 1986.
At
The
the
top.
1955.
What the hell is that?
Ooh. Sheesh.
That girl,
Oh,
Kelly McGillis. Keep going down. It's going to show you what she looks like now.
oh.
That's a better looking picture than what she looks like
I
now.
mean, I think she just looks older.
No,
but-
there's a picture that she's looking pretty rare. Oh, look. Who's there?
That's funny.
Harrison Ford. Witness.
Can I get a witness?
Anyways,
Yep.
number
What else?
8. You're going to have to look this one up too. Bait.
B-A-T-E?
Yep.
Or
B-A-I-T.
B-A-I-T?
B-A-I-T. B-A-I.
Well, that's 2000.
Oh,
Jamie Foxx.
What? Oh my God, I do remember this movie. I didn't know it was that
I have
old.
no idea what
Holy
this movie
shit,
is.
that's that old.
An ex-con is used by police to lure a criminal.
Yeah, see, it's hard. It's hard.
I've been hanging out with them too much.
So-
a criminal out of hiding.
So
What a
he's the
short-
bait.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I remember this movie. Holy shit, I didn't
I
think
do
this was
not
that
at
old.
all.
I don't know this one.
Oh my God, Emilio Estevez.
Emilio!
Thank you. Wow.
Only a 5.7.
Oh, it's not a good movie,
I didn't think
but holy shit, I completely forgot about it. This was the movie I think I learned
that
about Jamie
Michael
Foxx. Yeah, it's Mike Epps, yeah. What else we got in there? We got Jamie Kennedy. God damn it. David Morse, the guy who plays everything that has to do with being in the military. Hey, Kirk Acevedo, that dude right there. What the fuck is he in that I'm watching current? Oh, Fringe.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
the cop.
Yeah. He was also in Insidious. Okay, sure, whatever. Good show to watch. The Fringe. Random going back to watching shows that are complete.
We only
started
watch
watching it.
shows that are old, it seems.
Because they're complete, and I don't want to be let down
all the
by
new ones,
yeah.
like you only have like a season or whatever, and you get through them so fast, and you don't even know if they're coming back or not.
Exactly. I can't deal with that.
Like I finally caved a year and a half ago, and watched Euphoria.
Yeah.
And there were 2 seasons, and now I've been waiting, and
Yeah,
now
that's
they're
it.
saying it may not even be 2025
Yep.
because of
Everybody's doing a thing now. and
What's her?
being-
His or her?
him.
The main?
The one that died. He was in the show.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember his real name now, but I think that threw some things off. But also, a bunch of them all started having other
careers.
career projects.
They're busy.
So.
I
And I'm
didn't
like,
wanna
okay,
like
well,
that show,
I'm
but
so
I
glad I
did.
got into that. Like,
Right?
Now
It's
you know what I'm
heavy.
saying.
I was
yeah.
literally
it's
just
not an
thinking
easy
about
watch.
that. No.
Like you go through a lot while you're watching that show.
But you know what? I don't like the one actress.
Sydney Sweeney.
I can't with her.
Here's the thing, though. In the show, though,
She's great.
She's great.
Yes.
like she
but in
is
anything else,
doing
I don't
exactly.
think she can act.
I think she's not being
Like as a
given
main actress?
the right shit. You know what I mean? Like I
don't
feel like
know.
she's not. I feel like she needs to be in more of that kind of stuff, more of the dramatic stuff, not rom coms.
Oh, like there's a new one that came out where she's a boxer. It was based off a true story.
That's not out yet, but yeah,
It's not out.
coming out.
Oh, yeah.
She's making
Apparently
one.
that's going to be great.
She's
but-
making one right now with Amanda Seyfried and oh my god, who's the guy? Can't remember who the guy is now, but he's known too.
John
But
Cena.
it's it's a younger I think, but it's based on a pretty popular book.
Sure.
But I can't remember now
Definitely
who the guy
don't know
is.
it
But,
then.
Doesn't matter.
her and Amanda Seyfried are
Sure.
filming that right now. But
Okay. Number 7.
7.
Nurse Betty.
Why did I think that was a show?
It was a show,
Okay.
but there was a movie.
it was
Oh.
Yes.
Never seen it.
Nurse Jackie was
Oh,
a
maybe.
show.
Okay, maybe Nurse Jackie. Nurse Betty. Renee Zellweger.
Oh.
Morgan Freeman.
What?
Morgan
Comedy
Freeman's
about a
everywhere.
widow's post-traumatic obsession with a soap star.
Oh my.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I do remember
Okay.
this. Chris Rock. Greg Kinnear.
Morgan Freeman.
Greg
Aaron
Kinnear.
Hey,
Crispin
this
Glover.
girl was in that last movie.
Yeah, she was.
She's everywhere.
The one we just
Yeah.
looked up. She
Yeah.
was.
Texada. Is it Texada?
I don't know. Was she?
Elizabeth Mitchell.
Allison Janney.
Oh, everybody. Ed O'Neill. What? Good for her. Stitchers. Turbo Fast. That looks great. She was in the
Amazing
subway.
Spider-Man.
She was in the subway.
Sheila in the subway.
Look at that. Number 6. The Watcher.
Oh, look, she was in Everybody Hates Chris, too, which
Yeah.
also had Chris Rock in it.
God
So
damn
Yes.
that's funny.
The
Well,
Watcher.
not in it, but you know what I mean.
That's
Oh, no, that's that new show that came out. Oh, there it is.
James Spade or Keanu Reeves.
Keanu.
No idea. I don't know any of these movies.
Marissa Tomei.
Oh, I like Marissa Tomei.
Oh wow, that's a
That's
look,
a long.
There's your synopsis.
Whoa!
Atlanta.
Guess what we're not doing? Reading that.
No.
Jesus Christ.
Nope.
I think all we needed to know was Keanu Reeves was in it. I feel like that was plenty. We don't need to read
Good.
that
Yeah, I think you're right.
freaking novel.
Number 5. Bring it on.
Yeah.
Just do the chant.
Which one?
The,
Oh my God,
the
which
one
one?
everyone knows.
I
Come on.
said, bird,
It's
it's
cold in
cold in here. There must be some Taurus in
know
there.
how it goes.
I'm not a Kirsten Dunst. Oh God.
Kirsten?
I hate even looking at her.
I think it's
Kirsten?
Kirsten. Or
Kirsten?
Kirsten Dunst.
Kirsten.
There's so many
Sorry.
different names.
I'm used to my sister's.
I watched this movie so much back then
I have a
that
confession.
I mean I knew
You'll never.
I knew the chant of like that whole first opening scene, that whole thing front to back.
I saw this in theaters.
You would.
That's adorable.
With
I actually don't
with
know if I did
another
or not.
dude.
Just the two
Was it
of you?
Wally?
Just the two of us. No, this was when I was living in Canada. So this is
Good.
in 2000.
Good, Wally. I'm glad you didn't.
Me and another friend were like, yeah, let's go see Bring It On. It looks great.
Wait, you saw this in Canada?
Yes.
So this was right before you moved.
Right before I moved here. We moved in
Yeah.
October, I believe. Now, just
Is
because
this why you moved? Is this you went? I need to find some American ladies.
I think I moved because I was so embarrassed.
Oh, I have to laugh at that
All right,
one
that's
because of,
pretty
you
good.
know. Yeah.
Maybe I moved because I was so embarrassed I went and saw this by myself with another
No
male
one can
friend.
know. I need to go.
I
Which
gotta
is
go to another
it's
country.
funny that you said that, and I hate saying this, but
Oh no.
God damn it, your ex-girlfriend looked just like her. Yes, she did.
Nah.
Was she
Yes.
a cheerleader?
I don't know.
No.
I
think
loved
so.
him. What's
Yeah,
his
and
name?
that guy
Jesse,
wasn't in.
whatever
He
his
wasn't
name is.
in a lot after this, was he?
No, he was in Swim Fan.
Swim Fan, yeah, I
and he
remember
was
Swim
he
Fan.
did he was in that that adaptation of the book. The do they
Which
serve
one?
will they
Jesse?
serve beer in hell?
Oh, yeah,
Jesse
yeah.
Bradford. He was in Swim Fan. Wasn't he in the Clock Stoppers
Yep, Clock
movie too,
Stoppers,
or
you're
something,
right.
whatever that is? Swim Fan.
whatever
That movie's
yeah.
wild. That movie makes me so angry. though,
Shooter.
while I'm watching
Inception.
it. I'm
Yeah,
just
I
like,
mean,
oh my
yeah.
god.
He was. I mean, he's obviously been working.
Yeah.
10 rules for sleeping around. That's definitely not good. 3.6.
Oh, I feel like I remember that movie. I feel like I've seen that movie.
It's got a 3.6, so must have not been
Most
good.
of these are mid.
I hope there's beer in hell.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah. W. My sassy girl, 20 questions, sure. Anyways, number 4.
Flies Our Fathers. I forgot he was in that too.
Number 4, Urban Legend Final Cut.
What?
Which one is that one?
Probably the last.
Oh.
Carl Urban. Yeah, so Urban Legend, so it was the second one, I guess, yeah. Jared Leto was in fucking...
And no, it wouldn't be that one. This one?
No, it's not even
Keep
either
going
of
down,
those.
keep
Where
going
is
down,
it?
keep going down. It would have been there.
There you go.
2000. Yeah, Jennifer Morrison, oh, no way.
Oh, a film school is the center of a fresh spate of killings based on urban legends.
Spate. What is that
What the fuck
word?
is a spate?
I don't know. But these were basically I Know What You Did Last Summer, the Scream
Oh,
movie
is it?
kind of
Is it in black and white?
No.
Is
Those are
that
just photos?
Those
one of
photos
the?
are just-
Is that one of the Lawrence? Yep, sure is.
Yep, Joey Lawrence.
Joey Lawrence.
Wow. Eva Mendes. Wow, look at that. A lot of people in this.
I always
There's
say
a lot
Eva.
of people in this. I
Eva,
always say
Eva,
too.
I
whatever.
don't know why.
Is it Eva?
I
Is
thought
it
it was
Eva?
Eva.
I don't know. What does Ryan call her?
Tomato,
That's what-
tomato.
that's
That's
Whatever
what
that
matters.
is
Yeah,
what's right.
that's what it is. No, they were okay movies. I believe Tara Reid's in the first Urban Legend. Or am I thinking? No, I'm.
Going down South Park.
All right, top 3. Top 3 that week in no particular order. Then we gotta guess.
Sorry.
Okay. I don't even want to know. The Exorcist. Remember the Titans.
Oh.
Almost Famous.
Oh God.
The Exorcist.
We've
Remember the
done
Things,
this,
Almost
I
Famous.
think, because of Almost Famous. Because when I
did.
picked Almost Famous,
What
Yeah.
time of year did this movie come out?
September.
This
It was
is
September.
September?
29th, 2000.
Do you have the weeks of the other ones?
So I can say that Remember the Titans is in its first week. The other 2 I didn't look.
You want me to go first?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to just...
Whatever you think.
Wait, what was the third one?
So, The Exorcist, Remember the Titans, and Almost Famous.
The original, not the original, obviously, because it's 2000.
Probably
but the
remake.
Exorcist.
I think it was a re-release of The Exorcist.
Oh, of the original Exorcist?
Yeah,
in
so like
September.
I mean,
It's right
right
before
before
Halloween?
Halloween. It's September 29th.
So a whole month before Halloween, though.
I'll
what they need to
do Remember the Titans, The Exorcist, and then Almost Famous.
Okay.
That sounds like it's probably going to be right. But I want to put Almost Famous before The Exorcist because I love that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends on when it came out, like how long it's been out.
I feel like maybe not. I was gonna say I feel like when I picked Almost Famous, Remember the Titans was in the top 10, so I feel like Almost Famous could be in its first week too, or they were just both in the top still in the first.
This
couple
is the
weeks.
name of the game.
I can't remember.
The Titans.
No, I've actually never seen that.
It's okay. You realize it
good.
takes place around here. T.C. Williams is like
As does The Exorcist.
Yeah,
it does.
you
In
can
Georgetown.
Go, you can go
The
see
stairs
the-
are in
you can go
Georgetown.
see
Didn't
the
know that.
clips,
Learn
yeah.
something new every day on the decision reel.
What?
Back when my dad used to have to go on site more for work, anytime he had to be in that area, he would take a picture of the steps and send it to me.
I mean, I've actually never been there.
What trailer is this? Is this
Yeah,
Urban
I'm looking
Legends
at what's
too?
his face there.
That's
right
Hillary
there.
Swank.
Yeah, that's
And
definitely not.
what is that? Because now I'm intrigued. That's what's her face from Shameless.
And then that's Dumel.
Fiona, whatever.
Is that a Dumel?
Yeah.
Josh Dumel?
And Hillary Swank.
Just click on it. It'll tell you what it is.
Like literally?
Just click on it.
Why are they showing us something that?
No, I don't know. Because there's probably an actor who was in this that's something. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
That's weird that it would just flow right into.
Doesn't matter.
I'm gonna say Remember the Titans, Almost Famous, Exorcist.
It is number 1, Remember the Titans. Number 2, The Exorcist. Number 3.
I knew it.
Almost
I
Famous.
said
Good
it
job.
too. I said that sounds right, but I.
You did.
No.
You did. You got to go do something. What didn't we hear in the top 10?
Yeah, this movie.
Yeah, Best in Show was not in the top 10. You want to guess what number it was?
13.
20.
23. You're on it. Okay, let's see if you can keep going. Budget time. What do we think it costs to make this movie?
Oh, no. And this was in 2000.
2000. Do we need to do the Jeopardy thing?
I'm
again?
drinking this.
No,
Drink it.
I don't know what is the average. Can you give me a
There's
mean,
really, to be fair,
it's hard to
there's
be-
really not an
not
average
an
not.
average?
because it's based on genre, the people that are in it.
Like, is it usually? It's usually in the millions,
on?
correct?
I mean, we've
Most-
had
most
we've
of them.
had some that weren't, but most of them, yes.
So, okay, think about this. Let's give you a general thing here.
Yep.
So, a movie takes a lot of money to make, right?
Well,
you got
and then they
production
had that
companies, you got sites, you
stadium
got to
for
feed
the-
people, you got to
the
rent out a
dogs
stadium, you got to get
You think
dogs,
about how
you got to
many
get actors.
locations do you
Okay,
think
I'll
about?
do 1.5 million.
$1.5 million
Yeah,
for the overall.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. You can guess whatever you want.
I'm gonna say 6 million.
$6 million.
I'm
I guessed-
lowballing it.
I guess 15.
Oh God, I'm
Well, hold
really
on.
lowballing it.
Not
But also for most movies, 15 is low. So, but I really went low on this.
I guess one
Right,
is very low for that then.
But you got to looking at this movie. This isn't like a high budget
It's
movie,
not.
right? Nothing happens in this movie.
And it was
It's-
back in 2000, so it's not.
I got more stuck on the people.
right.
There's a
And
lot of
how many
people in
people
this.
in this were like, oh yeah, well
I'll just do
you're
it,
you're
fuck
directing
it.
Eugene
Yeah.
and
Oh
whatever,
God, you're
yeah,
paying
yeah.
$1 million just for one person sometimes.
or more.
Yeah.
Or more. These days, more usually.
Jim Carrey got like $9 million to be in The Mask in '94.
which is crazy because that's like when he took off. Like he was already
Well.
known, but
He had a huge. Well, okay, The Mask was in '94. It was 90, 96, 95, whatever. Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
He had a
it's around
huge year with Dumb and Dumber,
Yeah,
Ace
yeah.
Ventura, and there was one other movie there.
was Liar Liar before The Mask?
Liar Liar was
Oh,
99. Doesn't matter. But he
Cable
had a
Guy?
huge. No, Cable Guy was like 98.
Was it later?
Anyway, it doesn't matter. But he had a huge, 94, and then that was like, hey, I'm now in demand. Like, what do you want? And they paid him.
Damn.
Good for him. Mm-hmm. So I guessed $15 million. Actual budget, $10 million.
Okay.
I was way off.
So technically,
Technically, you're not that far off. You're only $9 million off, right? Well,
I'm new to this.
though,
technically, a lot of people have been hundreds of millions of dollars off. So in reality, you're not that far off.
the same unknown number that I got just called you.
Oh, it must be spam.
Oh no, it's Evergreen. You guys have Evergreen too.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
delayed our service.
That's funny. I was like,
Trash.
what the fuck? Because it was a number I didn't know.
That's
and
so
then your phone,
weird.
it was the same exact number. And I was like, who is stalking us right now? Is somebody
Also
trying to hunt me
weird
down?
that they called you then her.
Same time.
Was it at
I
the
mean, it
exact same
wasn't.
time?
No. Mine
it's
was
an-
15 minutes ago.
Oh,
So they-
okay.
It's an
They're going down a
automated.
list.
Yeah, it's an automated message.
I got
Yeah.
you.
Because of the snow.
Always watching.
Oh, that's so crazy.
Box office time. What do we think this movie made overall in its box office
Not
run?
much. It fills up there.
Well, it opened at 23, which isn't good.
No.
Not good at all. So overall, though, what do we think it made?
You go first this time.
Set the stage. The dog stage. Is that a thing?
I don't know.
The dog podium. The dog. Where do they judge the dogs on? Where they pick them up and put them? No,
They only do that with
the
the small ones, though. The big ones stay on the ground.
You're right.
I'm gonna say 6. Actually,
$6 million. You think it made? Okay.
I think this is a loved movie, but I don't think it was a blockbuster hit.
Sure. More of a cult classic,
Yes.
if you will.
Yeah.
So appreciated afterwards, maybe.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
I'll go with 4.
4 million. I guess 10. Thinking
Which is now we know that's what it cost to
that's
make
what it costs to make. Opening weekend, it made $430,000.
Okay.
Not a lot. Overall, though, it made $20.8 million.
Oh, nice. They doubled their money. That's good.
So I think this was like
This is a late bloomer.
sleeper. Or the people that saw it was like, yo, this is good. Go see it.
Word of mouth type of thing. Yeah.
Exactly. And then, I mean, let's be real. For a budget of 10, with what the type of movie it is, 20.8 is pretty
That's
good.
pretty good.
Yeah.
But pretty good.
For the style and everything.
Good.
Pretty good. So if we think it's good, what do we think critics and audience gave it? Rotten Tomatoes score, the Roddy T's, out of 100%. Critics first, then audience.
6.5.
Out of 100%. So
Is that
65.
These
65.
are
65.
Oh, I'm thinking of Rotten
It's
Tomatoes.
fine. Fine. This is Rotten Tomatoes. IMDb. You're
Well,
talking
well,
about. It doesn't
yeah,
matter.
yeah.
IMDb does the.
Yeah. Okay. So is that critics or audience score? Because there's 2 scores here.
What do you want me to do?
So critically,
Critics
what do you,
first.
Critics are always
Critics
first.
first?
So
Out
you
of
think,
100%.
yeah. What do you think they gave it? Critically, were they like, yeah, pretty good or pretty bad?
43%.
43%.
Audience? Damn.
Was that audience or critics?
That's critics.
Critics. Okay, so then the
So
65.
then you think audience is
So-
65?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going higher for
Okay.
this because
Higher.
I've always thought this
Higher.
movie was like a
Higher.
I'm not going off of
was
my
like
feelings.
a beloved
Sure,
was like
sure.
a beloved movie.
Yeah.
I thought.
So what do you?
I'm gonna say 84,
84
Critics.
critics
87 audience.
87
Oh, wow.
audience.
Yeah, you are going high.
Look,
I think it's a beloved. I don't know. I could be wrong. I thought it was,
I'm of the same thought process. That
but
you
maybe
got.
maybe it's because I know people who love it, but maybe I'm wrong.
So there's a bias sometimes when you're looking at this stuff.
Yeah.
You got to kind of separate and look at.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like
Whatever.
I feel like I enjoy it, but when I really sit down and look at the movie, is it that good? No, it's kind of just whatever. And
I
then,
will
like,
say-
when you tell people to watch it, they're like, oh yeah, okay, and then just like
yeah.
you know.
I do feel like there have been movies on here where, like, I knew I didn't really like it, but I gave it higher ratings on this because I was like, this seems like something other
It
people
seems
would
like a critically whatever movie.
Yeah, but this I feel like I don't know. I just felt like I remember over the last 15 years, whatever. Wait, no, 25 years almost that it's been. I feel like I've heard plenty of people express
good things.
positive
Yeah.
reviews. of this
I
movie,
guessed
but
critics 90%,
so you went even higher.
audience
Sheesh.
85.
But you were at least same page as me. You were on the same.
Same page. I just think this is a critic's darling. What? How do you say critic? How do you say that? Critical darling. Like critics love a movie like this where it's all just dialogue heavy and like
Yeah.
super dry but good written jokes and like a lot of actors who are killing it. Right.
Yeah.
This is what they're looking for. They're not looking for Avengers or stupid
Yeah.
dick and fart jokes. Right.
They like the more indie feel
Right,
vibe,
right.
the more not oversold shit.
So critics gave this movie. Are you ready? A 93.
What?
Oh.
Audience
Wow.
88.
Oh.
This is
Honestly, I'm proud of that. Though.
This is up there. This is pretty high. IMDb 7.5. Not as high, but still
yeah,
up there.
decent.
decent.
Those are really high.
Those are really high compared to some of the
That might
movies
be
we've
one of the
been doing.
highest critics one at least that because I feel like we've
For
had
a movie
crazy.
like this, yes,
Yeah.
yes. I mean, obviously we've had some, we've done some pretty good movies here that's been pretty high.
we've done some big like
Yeah, yeah,
blockbusters
yeah.
and stuff where like obviously critics and audiences were in the 90s.
There was
but-
we've done some blockbusters where critics are like, this sucks.
yeah,
And audience were like, great, so.
love it.
IMDb top and lowest review time. Top review from MC Hammer, but spelled EMMEC Hammer. This is January 2021, so this is a recent review. I've seen this movie several times, and it never gets old. This is one of the funniest films ever. If you gave this below an 8, then you are a show dog owner or have lost your sense of humor. And or both. From the cast to the writers, this is a 10 as it can get. No matter my mood, if I need a laugh, I can always turn on Best in Show. 10 out of 10.
I love it too, but I wouldn't give it a 10.
That's
So we've been doing the IMDb top and lowest review now for a little bit, right? I have yet to find a movie that doesn't have a 10 out of 10 and doesn't have a 1 out of 10.
Yeah.
There's never been a movie so far that someone's like, it's pretty good, but not out of 10.
Wait,
It's the
are you
highest.
about to tell us this movie doesn't have a 1?
This movie has a 1 out of 10.
Okay, I thought you were leading up to
No,
say
no,
that
no.
this is the first one that doesn't have a 1.
I'm waiting for the day, but
I
I
know.
don't think of the best movie you've ever seen. I bet you it's got a 1 out of 10.
Well, because we had talked about this before, and I think we looked up some of our best ones. to
Jurassic
see.
Park even was
Jurassic
just
Park
like,
had some ones, and they were
Steve
dumb.
Carell, piece of shit,
They were
motherfucker.
dumb ones too. They were like, "Oh my god, this doesn't seem realistic," and we were like, "Well, duh."
Yeah.
If it was realistic, we should be concerned. Like,
Right, they're making
what are you talking about?
dinosaurs?
Dinosaurs?
Right. So the low is from Beetle 2. This is March of 2001. So this was very recent of
Right
when it was
after, yeah.
released.
It's like 6 months.
You people are sick. No, I am not joking. You are all sick in the heads. The idea that this movie has a rating over 2 makes me even more angry, and after seeing this movie, I thought that was impossible. I am a proud voter here at IMDb with 300 titles voted on. You people who vote kindly on this are a disgrace.
They sound like an angry person.
For all of you that haven't seen this, here's a quick little rundown. You know those terrible people who annoy you every time they talk? Imagine spending a full hour and a half listening to them. 9 of them, to be exact. Even the cute value of the dogs didn't come close to saving this horrid movie. Even the $2.75 I paid for it was a ripoff. One of the worst films I have ever seen. Only movies worse than this are Supernova and the most terrible of them all, Omega Code. This is a 1 out of 10.
I've never heard of either one
That
of those.
just sounds like an unhappy person.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
This person doesn't get
Dry humor.
humor at all. Like,
That's somebody who all comedy movies need to be this. Like this
Right.
this is the kind of humor that they all need to be, and that's it.
I hate that where someone's like, well, this is how I like comedy, and so you can't not do comedy.
And that's the problem with critics in general, is because I do feel like most of the time they try to be unbiased. You know what I mean? Like, even if it's not something that is normally their preference, but it's hard. You can't go into things unbiased a lot of times. I mean, you are who you are. You like what you like.
Right.
So people who can just have an IMDb account
thing,
and
yeah.
enter
Do whatever they
are
want.
just random people. They're people who
Well, hold on.
cannot,
I got over 300 reviews, so I know what I'm talking about. Let's be real here.
the way
You can say whatever
the
you
way
want,
that they
right.
started it in the beginning, being like, I'm an avid user of IMDb.
Okay.
I leave reviews all the time. Okay,
So what?
so does
So does everybody.
Joe Nobody down the street.
Joe
Calm
Nobody.
down.
I like Joe Nobody. He's a cool guy. Joe somebody.
Better than Joe Somebody.
Right, Jesus. Favorite character in this movie? Anybody can go with it.
I have a top 3.
Oh, go do what you gotta say.
It's
Say what you gotta
in
say.
no specific order.
No
Sure.
particular.
It's Eugene Levy, Jennifer Coolidge's character, and John Michael Higgins' character, because he's just golden. Like his little quips and his outfits and his flamboyancy when he's out walking with the dog and stuff. He's just hilarious.
I would agree with that.
Those are my top 3.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Okay.
And it's not to say that there aren't other people who are also just as good. It's just those were the 3 that
Stood out to you.
Those were each 3 gave me something different.
Sure.
But in an equally good way.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
it's Eugene. Come on.
I know.
Obviously.
I know.
Okay, but if I got to take him out of the contention,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard.
It's a good batch.
I don't want to say the gay guys together as a couple, Yeah.
I know.
They're pretty iconic, right? They're doing when he comes out there with that dog the first time, all super like, yeah, let's go. In his beautiful, was that a purple blazer or whatever? Silk.
So in the last round,
Silk or velvet?
yeah,
Something,
but it's like it was like a fuchsia or something. And then in the last round, he had a full like dark blue velvet like suit, but it had like these buttons and stuff that almost made it look like a commander in an army or like a band uniform, like type of, like the buttons and stuff. It was iconic for sure.
I liked it.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. So then do we have like a favorite scene in this movie? Because I mean, it's kind of hard to pick a scene,
you know what?
right?
Yes, I do.
Oh, yeah.
When they win,
Okay.
specifically Eugene, like his face and how he looks behind himself as though there would be another person with a dog standing behind him, like when he points, like him looking back, and then him just like in shock, but then just continues to say her name, like instead, like he's not even acknowledging like anybody else. He just keeps saying her name because he's like, get down, like, oh my God, what just happened? I cried today when I watched it.
What? Cried.
I did. I'm not gonna lie.
At the winning
When
scene?
they won, yeah. Because he looked so like emotional over it.
Yeah, okay.
And you were just, plus watching this whole movie, like they were the ones who were like the downtrodden. You know what I mean? Like they didn't have money to pay for their hotel. They didn't have, they're late on their bills. Like you just, they were coming from a small town where people were having a picnic, a barbecue for them to send them off. Like, it was wholesome while all these other people were like ones who had been doing it for a long time, ones who were snobby about it, snootier about it, like, and they were just
good about it.
They just love their dog, and we're like, he just like,
right.
We feel like he is the best in show.
Well, and that's the whole point of it too, right? And I think they did a good job of showing that, because let's be real, the movie doesn't really have a sense of direction, but it doesn't need it, if it's shot documentary style.
I'm not gonna lie, I did. I teared up when
There's nothing wrong
he
with
won.
that. I tear up with a lot of movies. I'm trying to think of the last movie that I did tear up with. I got one that's a really weird tear up. I teared up at Clerks 3.
I haven't seen Clerks 3.
So,
but
the whole story of it, spoilers, you're not going to see Clerks 3, let's be real. The one main guy who's trying to whatever ends up having a heart attack, and they're trying to make a movie, right? So basically, have you seen the original Clerks?
Yeah, but I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen either of the other ones.
So Clerks 3 is like the making of Clerks 1, but made of a movie. Like it's literally in universe, the movie, and they're trying to make Clerks 1. And while they're making it, the one guy has a heart attack, and like it happened right after they had like a big fight, the two guys that are best friends, and they finish the movie while he's in the hospital, and they sit the laptop down in front of him while he's in the bed with the tubes and everything,
stuff, yeah.
and they play it for him, and they watch the whole movie together, him and his best friend, and then it ends. I don't want to go into too much detail, but I was like, oh God. Because it's look, Kevin Smith's Kevin Smith, and he can be crude and stupid, and most of those movies aren't good. Something about that scene made me like,
gotcha.
Okay. And at the time, my dad had this weird situation where the ambulance was sent to, the cops are coming to him.
Back to Canada.
Oh.
You got to get out.
Take us with you.
Right. He had like a weird, I can't remember if something happened. You remember that? Whereas like he had like a heart thing, and like the ambulance came, and he was just like.
It was similar to what we have sometimes with this.
Was it? I don't remember. Anyways, they thought it was like a mild cardiac event or something.
Oh,
and I watched it literally the same day without knowing. And I was like, oh, double hit, So it was kind of wild. But beyond that, so this movie, best scene, I kind of like the dinner scene with the kid with the fucking parachute. I don't know why. It just felt...
When he's just on that roof holding the dog.
Right.
And they're just all just yelling random things.
Hilarious.
I would have been livid.
You can't even pay attention to what any one person, like you can't hear what they're all saying. You have to you have to like pick one person,
but
watch it again, listen to one person.
Yeah, it feels real, and that's why I kind of liked it. You know what I mean? Like it feels like
and that
it's
kid is just
happening.
so calmly sitting there too, and all these people are just yelling. it took them also way too long to get on that roof. I would have been on the roof already.
Don't call it a doll. It's an action figure. See? It's fucking funny. Because it feels, like I said, real. You know what I mean? Like, I remember talking about The Family Man, how that movie didn't feel like it was acting. It felt like you were just watching a real family or a real story. This feels like that. And for the most
because
part...
they're older, too. It's not forced on you like today's movies are.
I think it gives it room to breathe. Like, movies today, like you said... Oh, something's got to happen.
Because people have short attention spans now.
If they're just shoving stuff in there.
Right.
Because of TikTok and stuff.
TikTok. But I think this movie, because it is mostly off the cuff, feels realer because the way people are talking, you can tell they're making it up as they're talking. Like the scene where he's driving, the guy with the bloodhound dog, and he's talking about the nuts. Okay, I take it back. This might be my favorite part.
That was so stupid.
You could tell he's just he's trying to think of what different nuts he could say. And I wonder if there was, hey, okay, you're going to say this and then somehow bring in
well, like you said
whatever.
earlier, like a lot of it was improvised, right?
Right, the whole movie is improvised. We're going to get to that in the fun facts of the week. But I wonder how much of that was improvised. If it was, hey, look, just say something about nuts.
I feel like a lot of this movie was. You can tell.
I love, even with TV shows, like I feel like there are a lot of, especially with the older TV shows, I don't think you had as much ad-libbing because I feel like it was a little bit more strict back then. Like they were like, let's get through this. Let's,
Yeah.
But I feel like stuff like Schitt's Creek or like New Girl, I watched some of those shows and I just watched them and I'm like, was that even in the... Because some of the stuff they say, I'm like, there's no way somebody actually wrote that down and was like, say this. And they were things that made it in the show because they said it and they were like, we couldn't even have we couldn't have wrote something that good.
Right.
We're keeping this in there.
Exactly.
There's so many. There was an article, it was an interview, it was a few years ago, but it was from someone in the New Girl cast. I don't remember who it was. But they were saying that they could probably do an entire season of cutouts of ad-libs that they didn't use. Like parts of the show that they did not use.
Right.
Because they just had the freedom on there to just go. And like the story was written and the lines were written, but there were so many parts where it was just like spitball. Just say shit.
I hate to bring wrestling into this. But wrestling
I hate that too.
Sure, but I'm going to. But wrestling, for the most part, is ad-libbing or going off the cuff, whatever, right? Like the early...
No, we can tell, Steve. Like we know.
Of course. The Attitude Era, what they call it, the best era of wrestling from like 97 through 2001, they gave them an idea of, hey, this is how the feud's going to go. This is what we need you to say or hit the points of... But go out there, do your thing, right? That birthed the best wrestlers ever, right? You have The Rock, you have Stone Cold Steve Austin, you have Triple H, you have all these guys that are going out there just riffing off the cuff and coming up with the best shit. They're getting away from it again, but there was a point in time from like, okay, look at even John Cena. Like he's one of the best guys just to riff off the cuff. But they kind of stopped in like 2012 to sort of now of, hey, this is scripted. You need to recite a fucking script word for word, and this is how it's going to be. Don't deviate from it. And it made everything feel wooden and fake and shitty, and you didn't have the ability to create new stars because they're bound by what someone wrote for them. Yeah. And the funny thing is, one of the writers would have been Freddie Prinze Jr. during this point in time, which is fucking wild, right?
Whoa.
Right. You didn't know that, did you?
No.
Yeah, Freddie Prinze Jr. wrote for WWE for like 6 years.
A random
thing.
Like, how do you even get into that? Was he just a fan and he just was like, hey?
There's so many famous people that are fans. We saw that the other night.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy.
In the crowd.
Crazy. But yeah, he was a writer for a long time. There's a lot of people that actually were writers.
Macaulay Culkin?
Macaulay Culkin
I saw a clip just today on Instagram where it was showing how much the crowd popped off when they showed him because his head was down. And he like picked his hat up and you could just hear everyone be like, what the hell? Like
Macaulay Culkin.
Holy shit.
Like Vanessa Hudgens?
She's a huge wrestling fan.
I wouldn't think that.
Huge wrestling fan.
I just, no.
Look, it's dumb. I know. But if you get it, you're like, all right.
I don't.
If you go to it live, it's great.
It's better live, yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Everything's better when you go live, right?
Correct.
Sure.
I mean, depending.
Maybe.
Depends.
Depends. Did you say your favorite scene?
I did not.
No? Okay. What do you got? What do you got?
did not.
You did not ask me.
I am now.
I don't know. Oh goodness.
There's so many good,
Yeah.
like solid ones.
I would say the Busy Bee because it stands out the most to me, and that's something that I would quote.
Like the whole
Like,
thing,
where's
or
Busy
like
Bee?
the
Just going crazy.
my favorite part of that scene is when she's in the store and she's trying, and the guy
This
just like
isn't a bee.
the guy just keeps grabbing. He's just like, because he's like, I don't know what to do with this crazy one. So he's just grabbing random stuff, and she's like, this is a bear dressed as a bee.
Right.
It's not a bee.
Right. See, it's a good part.
That's pretty.
It is.
Yeah. Because I would have done anything for my dog too.
Yeah. Listen. Something I need to say though about this movie is some of the ways that they talk about their dogs. I'm like, oh no, this is what I sound like.
Yeah.
Like the way, no, like don't do that. You're stressing her out. Like blah blah blah. Like Carrick, like I will say sometimes, like he'll throw something and it's like the way they catch it, and I'm like, oh my, like he fell wrong. Don't do that. I am speaking for my dogs so much, and the dog's probably like, would you shut up and let me play fetch?
I did
like
the
get
same
out of my
thing.
face.
Yeah.
Or I'm like, oh no, look how stressed he looks, and my dog's probably like, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
What do you like? I'm always hungry.
Yeah,
what are you talking
we're
about? I'm
guilty because
stressed.
that's our fur child.
Like, I just they
I'm
can't
hungry right
talk,
now.
so you gotta put you just gotta guess and you just assume. So I'm like, listen, I know my dog and I know he feels stressed,
yeah.
and my dog's probably like, fuck off.
Yeah. It's probably what
Stop
ours was
touching
like
me.
1,000% of
He
the
needs love, and I grab him, and Cooper's probably just like,
God,
all right, I'm
this
just gonna
woman.
count until
What
she's
is that
done.
one meme where it's like, I just wanted a loving family, and I got a 30-year-old woman with
anxiety and
problems.
depression who relies on me for like all of her happiness.
That's funny.
Life.
Any what the fuck moments for us in this movie?
I really, which this was almost one of my favorite scenes, but when Jennifer Coolidge is like her first kind of interview segment,
Sure.
and she
with her
starts
husband?
talking about her husband, and
What
she-
they like?
the things that like what we say, what we talk about, or
Soup.
what we don't talk about, and there's just
peas.
no limit to the things that we that we don't
The
talk
soup
about.
is good because it's true. Like, I always thought that they were playing off the whole Anna Nicole Smith thing.
Yeah.
Right? But I don't think they were.
Was that
But
at the same time, though?
No, because that was like
wasn't?
in the early 90s.
Are you
right?
sure?
Yeah. They got married like 93, I want
I
to say.
still love that show.
Well, her
I know
show
it's
was
trash, but
trash TV later, but I'm saying her
was early trash.
marrying the old guy was like in the early 90s.
I
The oil
also
tycoon.
like which I think it had to be, obviously, because they all needed to be in the final round.
Yeah.
But the variety of the dogs that they owned, because obviously they couldn't have dogs that were too similar because they would have been in the same categories.
Right.
And
right.
so obviously they all
was
had
around the
very
same
different
time.
dogs.
No. Not when the show. I'm talking about when she married,
married.
that old guy.
oh, well, it was
So-
later in that show, was it not? It
When
didn't
she
show it?
married the oil tycoon dude, that was like 93.
Oh, was it?
I don't
earlier?
even know
Okay.
who it was that she married.
Nobody knows, but it's provocative.
Nobody.
I knew that was coming.
Look, I'll look it up right now.
No, it's not.
Anna
It gets the people
Nicole
going.
Smith married.
We're skate to one song. That's
My
My
Humps.
Humps by the Black Eyed Peas.
Look at that, June 27th, 1994.
1994 is when they married.
Yes. And then I guess he died in 95.
I was just
Oh.
about to say, and he died like 6 months later.
Oh,
Right.
my.
Billy Wayne Smith. Oh, she's married twice. So Billy Wayne Smith and then J. Howard Marshall II was the
That was
guy.
the older guy.
Yeah, so she was actually married to Billy Wayne Smith from 1985 to 93.
Oh, she was married to someone else first.
Yeah.
and
So
then
that-
did-
yeah, that-
So
'cause
she
she
went
had
the
a
other
kid.
way. She
Well, she
said,
had
"No, I
kids.
need to just like."
She had 2 kids, did she not? She had a
She at least had a
son, and then she had a daughter
Didn't
later.
the son kill himself and then she died after?
Yeah, I think that's how it
don't know.
went. I feel like that's how it
I think
went.
so.
Because her daughter is still alive. And I've seen stuff recently where how much she looks like her.
I saw. I don't know if this is one of the videos I sent to you. I saw it was a clip from, I don't remember who the comedian was. It was someone I didn't know. Like I didn't recognize his name. And he starts it off by saying, "This is the darkest joke in his catalog. He's like, this is so just bear with me. And he starts it off and he's like, so my brother my brother was an addict and he passed. He had a little oopsie daisy. And then you hear some giggles and he goes, yeah, that's really the funniest way I can say it. So like but then he says, he passed from an overdose, blah, blah, blah. I had a little oopsie daisy and he goes, he passed. And my mom really like was grief stricken. Like she really struggled. And then he goes, and then, a few months later, or a year later or something, she took her own life. And then he goes, and, me and my brother and my sister, like, honestly, it's just like the worst way to find out you weren't the favorite child.
Yeah, oh God.
That's pretty good.
And it's so dark, but like Carrick and I loved it. It was so funny because it really like she had 3 kids left and was just like, nope, can't deal with the grief from the one.
I feel like that's
I was like, oh my God, like because who puts it in that perspective?
Right?
I would have never in my own brain.
He had to have been a middle child there.
And he was just like the worst way to find out that we were not the favorites. Like none of us were the favorites.
Obviously.
Whoa.
The worst way. Speaking of that.
The fun facts of the fucking week.
I know. Because you know why? It's because when I got here, I still had gum in my mouth. So I was like trying to, yeah.
Yeah, drink it. What are you doing?
I have drank some of it now.
Oh, sure.
I was slacking.
Parker Posey got real braces for her character in this movie.
Shut up.
Wow.
Did she need them?
No, she just did it because why not?
I feel like they could have
I feel like
done
there's a lot of
that.
reasons why not. I feel like if you don't need braces, I feel like it could damage your teeth, no?
Yeah, it depends on how long you're wearing them.
Don't they have to tighten them, right? Is that
If
how
you
they
keep
do it?
them
Well,
on.
I mean, if you're getting braces put on for a movie, they're not going to tighten them. They're just putting them on.
Right, that's
for
what I'm
the look.
saying.
Yeah, like
So it's not
maybe they
doing
weren't
anything.
maybe they weren't actually like attached and stuff. They just really like I mean the other like
Yeah. They probably put them on like they
put the-
normally would. They just didn't tighten
didn't
them
actually
down.
do anything.
Right.
Good Lord, and then she had to go through get them removed
Right.
and everything.
Another funny thing is Jim Carrey's tooth in Dumb and Dumber is really chipped, and he had to reprise that role. Yeah, he chipped that tooth again.
Oh,
He
I
went to
didn't
the
know
dentist
that.
and they just cut it.
In Fury, Shia LaBeouf actually pulled his tooth out
Which,
because he was
good for
supposed to
him.
have a tooth. So same thing. Like
Hiding in the woods.
I feel like
Shia LaBeouf.
people think that method actors are just the serious drama ones, but no, like some like
They're the crazy
doesn't matter
ones.
what. Yeah, they're just the ones that were unhinged.
Who
that's
was
all.
Leonardo DiCaprio in
Django.
Django? Yeah.
Where he breaks the glass and it's like cut it. He
Like
cut,
that was
cut his
real.
hand and he just kept going.
Yeah.
Made the
I
scene.
remember Jamie Foxx talking about that movie, and he's like, it was Jamie Foxx and Samuel L. Jackson have talked about this. How Leonardo DiCaprio, like, he didn't want to say the derogatory words that he had to say, like, and he was like, I'm not. And Jamie and them, they were like, just we know it's a movie, just say it. And then he said, but he's someone that when the cameras aren't rolling, he tries to keep like.
Right.
And
Keep
then
it going.
so he said he was like making himself kind of break out of it because he didn't want to talk like that. And
I would
stuff.
be the same way.
I wouldn't want to either. Like I
Yeah.
get it's in the fucking script and that's what I was cast for, but I wouldn't want to either.
Right.
No.
No, there's a lot of things.
No.
There are also movies where I watch and I see people who were cast as these horrible people, like these horrible characters who say the worst things and do the worst things. And in my mind, I'm like, I get to an extent beggars can't be choosers, but I feel like if I was an actor, I could not take these types of roles. Like I just would not want to play a person that I in no way would ever want to be around.
Hey, Sarah,
You know what I
here's
mean?
$5
Like-
million. Be an asshole.
Yeah. And
No.
some people
Being an
can
asshole is
push
different.
themselves.
I could be a fuck if I need to be a bitch or an asshole for a role, I will do that. I'm talking to people who are like the racist, homophobic slurs up and down, like just gross.
Oh.
I do feel like
derogatory
that's where I
roles.
would draw the line.
Like I don't think I could do that. I don't care for the amount of money.
Oh,
Like I
yeah.
just don't think I you think about that role will stand out.
Oh, yeah.
And those are
You don't want
clips and
people to
memes
portray
and
you as
stuff.
that
Yeah,
type of person.
I don't want because there are dumb people in the world.
You are right.
Let's just say what it is. There are dumb people, and some people can't remove
No, they can't.
a character from a person. And so I don't. I just There's no and the good actors make it even harder.
Yes, you're right.
Like you watch Leonardo DiCaprio in that movie and you're like, oh my god, what a racist fucking prick.
Or who am I thinking of? Is it Samuel L. Jackson? Yeah,
Samuel.
I hated him in that movie.
Which one?
Oh, in
Wait,
that movie,
right?
in Django.
In
Django,
He was such a little ass kisser,
my
and he was
gosh.
getting his own kind in trouble, and he was treating his own kind like shit.
But great movie.
Great movie.
Great.
Great record.
movie.
Great record.
Very good.
But it is. But no, I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could say some of the things that some of these actors have to say as their roles.
I agree. When the manager of the hotel is showing the various cleaning products, he mentions a rock band trashing their room and roasting a goat. The rock band is, of course, the one from This Is Spinal Tap, which featured many of the same actors as this film. A cool little throwback, just because, yeah. Cool.
A little Easter egg.
Yes. Much of the film was improvised. The narrative outline was only 16 pages long.
Oh. How do you tell them when to stop? Like I'm
don't.
surprised that the movie was only 90 minutes.
That's all. That's got to be edited. But that's what I'm
know?
saying. That's kind of what I was saying about like the show when they said New Girl said like they had so many things that they didn't use that they could make a whole nother season of the show.
I
on
would find it
just
so hard to cut
outtakes
stuff.
and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Like not only cutting out some of the ad libs because you can't just have it go on forever, but cutting out like where people couldn't hold in their laughter and shit too. Like that's just.
Well, speaking of what you're saying, so there's more than 60 hours of footage that was shot for this movie.
Oh wow.
60 hours. So
Crazy.
think about that, right?
Down
Going
to an
through it.
hour and a half.
That's a huge job. to go through that.
55 and a half hours.
So that, remember how you said, when do you tell them to stop? You don't. They just go, right?
And then they cut and
find,
chop.
I like that part about
Yep.
the nuts, right? But he fucking talked about it for an hour and a half in that car ride, right? And they chopped it down to what, 30 seconds?
Well, like we've talked about this before. This type of directing and acting and stuff, where it is a lot of like just you know these actors and they know what they're doing. Just let them roll, and you cut and paste later. When we did date night,
Yeah.
when they're sitting at the table and they're doing the different voices for the people at the tables, and they show that at the end of the movie where there were multiple things that Steve Carell and Tina Fey both said that they didn't
Yeah,
use.
exactly.
And I'm
happens all the time.
laughing hysterically at some of the ones they didn't use. And I'm like, how do you decide? Like, how do you decide?
You don't.
How do you
Well,
decide which one? You know what I mean? Like,
you have the focus groups, right?
you have to
where
find
you,
the balance. Yeah,
You
that
have
helps
the
find the
different
balance
cuts of the movie.
because
They give different focus groups a different cut, and they say, what was
that
funnier?
when she's like, I'm gonna go home and look at my vagina in a hand mirror. And I'm like, what? Where? I like. How does that even come in your head? Like that's
You're
just something that popped into her mind.
Just
Like
saying words.
oh my god! And they ended up going instead with I'm gonna go home and fart in a shoebox. Like
Which is just as funny.
it's just as funny, and she delivers it just as funny in the same way. But like,
Well, another thing
oh
you're
my
not thinking
God.
about rating too, right? The MPAA.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're
Yeah,
going, I don't like that
maybe
joke.
let's not add that
so
vagina
do this
in
joke.
there. Yeah.
But if you keep this one in, you got to get rid of that one.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a lot of give and take with the MPAA, and it's
because
fucking
there's
stupid.
there's limits of the amount of cuss words you have, of the amount of sexual content, not just content, but sexual verbiage
yeah,
and
anything,
stuff
yeah,
too. That will make it cross the line. So
wild.
maybe that was one vagina too much.
Maybe
know?
maybe
I mean, but is there ever? Come on.
one vagina. too much. Put that shit on
Is
a
there
t-shirt.
such
I don't.
thing?
So this is incredibly random and off topic, but
no.
if you
Oh no, we
This is
never do that.
show.
Oh.
We never do that on this show.
If you like date night, this movie's on Netflix. That Indian actor I love, he's a comedian as well. Oh God, I can't.
He's in the new Ghostbuster. He plays the guy with the fire.
Yeah. Because he was in Silicon Valley
Yeah,
as well. Carrick and I really liked that show. If you never watched it,
He was in that one. Okay, give me one second.
Great guy.
It does begin with a K.
Yeah.
He's in a date night movie.
Have you watched Silicon Valley?
I've
No.
seen the first 2 seasons.
I
It's funny.
really feel like that's
Oh, come
That would be up your
Ali.
Oh yeah. The IT crowd.
like not
oh,
just
yeah.
IT, but like the type of funny that movie is.
Oh, yeah.
And like questionable views on TJ Miller, but he's really funny in
he's
that show.
good in
He's
it.
really funny.
Oh,
in
it's
that
called The Lovebirds,
The Lovebird.
but it's
I-
about
oh,
their
no.
date night.
show. I think I did
It's from
with
2020.
Issa Rae.
the
Is that her name?
woman.
Is that how you say her name? Issa Rae.
Hold on.
Issa Rae.
Where's the cast?
Issa.
From the
Yes, Issa Rae.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
mhm.
yeah. I haven't.
Yeah,
You know
I
what?
know.
I don't
I
think I've
freaking
actually
know.
watched it. I've
I
seen a
don't
lot of
think
clips
you've
from
seen
it.
it either, Steve.
I've seen a lot of clips
No.
from it, but I don't think I've
It's-
watched the
it's-
show. But it has like date night.
It's
that
yes,
vibes.
it's
because it is like it's like chaos.
I
ensues.
think it's better than date night.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a big
I
But
mean,
I
it's
like
definitely
him.
more diverse.
I like him more than Steve
Carell.
Carell.
Carell. So
You know, I like Steve Carell, but I'm like
I
burnt
did,
out.
but the more I see
Burnt
his
out on him,
stuff,
yeah.
yes, exactly.
He's the same.
Yep.
But
Well,
you can't
I
say the
feel
same
like-
thing about Ryan Reynolds or Jim Carrey or all these people, but I kind of
Yeah.
like their shtick better than
I
his
Correct.
feel like that's when you have to dive into their catalogs deeper.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
yeah, I get
Because a
that.
lot of their blockbusters or whatever are gonna be this. It's gonna feel like the same because that's what people are. That's what they like them for, and that's what they're gonna go see. But when you watch, like for example, when you watch, not that it wasn't in. Not that it didn't have a little bit of him, but we talked about this when we did Voices. We're like, that's not
Right.
He's not typical Ryan Reynolds in that. Or when you watch,
I liked that movie.
I did too.
Well, the thing that I always point to people when they talk about, hey, what about these Ryan Reynolds movies? That's when he was out of Hollywood and no one was casting
He
him
was
in
doing
big
more
stuff.
indie stuff,
so
like
he
more like-
had to
yeah.
For
branch out and be
Voices?
different. Oh yeah,
Really?
Voices
Yeah.
was it. Although it did have though Anna Kendrick and
Yeah,
Gemma,
but
whatever her
they
name is,
weren't
and all that
huge
stuff.
then. Either.
No, but
Right. So he was
what year
having to
did
go
that movie
whatever.
come out? It wasn't that long ago.
2008-ish,
It was that
9-ish,
long
yeah.
ago?
I think so.
yeah.
yeah.
And I just learned about it maybe what 2, 3, 4
No,
within the last couple of years.
Maybe when I picked it for the show.
No, it was
it's 'cause you
before.
had seen it before.
It was
Yeah.
before. Yeah.
It was when we used to watch Tubi and get on Tubi and you found random shit. I don't think I've opened Tubi in like
But like also, for example, with Steve Carell, the oh my god, what was the Big Short, the
Oh,
housing
yeah,
market
yeah.
movie? He
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
play Steve Carell. That's not his normal.
I've never heard of that.
It's a good movie. It's
The
got
Big
it's got a
Short?
lot of people in it. It's got Christian Bale in it.
Oh.
It's got Steve Carell, Ryan Gosling. I think it is in it as well. Like I think there's a lot of people in that movie.
yeah. No, I'm with you.
I think I'm even forgetting a lot of well-known people.
Christian Bale.
Yeah, Christian Bale is in it. Yep, Ryan Gosling, Steve Carell, Brad Pitt.
Wait, what's the premise of it? In 2007,
It's
group
based
of
on true
investors
stories.
bet against the United States mortgage market. Oh, in their research, they discover how flawed and corrupt the market is. Yeah.
Yeah, even the people who aren't like the more well-known
Brad
names,
Pitt?
you will recognize the people in
Goodness.
there. Mm-hmm. Like when you're watching it, even if you don't recognize their names, you're gonna be
You
like,
know
"Oh my
who they
god,
are,
I've
but-
seen them in so many
yeah.
things." Yeah, it's a good. I watched it semi
Silas.
recently.
I've never seen anyone else have that name besides Joe's son,
Silas.
Silas.
I've watched my friend's nephew has
Oh.
that name. But yeah, I watched it recently just because like it wasn't for any reason. It just I was looking for something I hadn't seen it in a long time, and I was like, I'm gonna watch it because I felt like a more
Yeah.
serious movie, and it's got a lot of quirky moments in it too. So you still get like entertainment, but it's also just wild because it is based on like the actual events of the market in that time frame and stuff, and it's crazy. It's like it goes into like the loan details, the bank stuff, the realtors, the like all that shit.
I don't want to go through that again.
I
felt like I was signing a book.
But it's cool because it's also it's all of that stuff, but it's also the background of the people in the like Wall Street area being like, is this really like, what are we betting on here? Like, and they were like, no, because they were predicting the market was going to do some of these things, and they were. It was like people putting all their money into this stuff, and they're like, why are they doing this? And it was because there were people that were predicting the bubble burst and all this stuff, and it was so it's a lot. But it's good. Everyone in it is good, even though obviously you see those names and you're like, well, yeah, they're good actors, but like
Right.
they play those people.
Oh yeah,
They're
Those
people
are big
well.
names.
And he's not
a
really
big
Steve
lift
Carell
for
in
you.
that. Actually, he's kind of an asshole in that. He's very like loud and obnoxious. And
He
stuff.
is loud.
No,
and
I mean in like an
obnoxious.
angry way, like in an angry way.
Fred Willard was specifically instructed by Christopher Guest not to do any research on dogs. Jim Paddock, on the other hand, had to do a lot of research so that his character would appear knowledgeable.
Oh my God.
As a result, Guest says some viewers are surprised to learn that Paddock is not a real dog show judge.
I mean, I feel like if you've seen him in other stuff. You would know he's not a real dog show dog.
Remember what you said earlier about
Dumb people?
some people are pretty dumb and they're going to look at
But
a
I
movie.
feel like it gives the same vibe as in Dodgeball with Jason Bateman and the other guy, where like one is just completely unhinged and saying the dumbest shit, and the other one is sports talk, like an actual like commentating.
Were you upset that your dog breed that you own was not featured more? Because I was.
Like in this movie?
Yeah. Because
So here's what I'm going to say about that.
Oh, no.
My dog breed is quite trainable.
Yeah.
Like they are quite trainable.
see, mine isn't, so I kind of would have
But
loved to have
There are
seen that
two.
aspect.
There are two dashhounds.
Yeah, but they're
in
not.
there.
But
No.
here's
Like,
here's the caveat.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
We're bringing that back.
Yeah, that was hilarious. And I'll never forget it in my life. It was fun. The
I said it to somebody the other day too on the phone at work, and they're just like, "Yeah."
What
so
was
that
the other one? Oh no. Epitome instead of epitome. He said epitome.
man, no one's ever-
Makes me think of high school and the SAT words.
No one's ever said that's wrong.
It's okay because I don't know if I told you at the time to make you feel better or if I just wanted to let you sit in it. But there was one time I was reading and I said, instead of geometry, I was saying it like yes. I was
Geometry.
saying I was
Geometry?
yes because I was, and I also my dad loves to remind me of this. He was playing one of the James Bond games one of the times. This was years ago. Obviously, I think I was in high school, and it was one. The words come up. It was during one of the dialogue moments, so one of the story mode things, and so words were coming up on the screen of like what they were saying or what they were telling you to do, and interrogate was it, and I was like interrogate.
And
And then but immediately when I said it, I was like, no, that's not. But my dad could not let it go. And I was like, I knew it immediately after I said it. And he was like, no.
that sounds like when we were watching hockey. You know who I'm talking about.
You know who Dustin Bufflin is?
Nope.
So he played.
I didn't either.
He played on the Atlanta Thrashers, and then when they moved to the Jets, he was a big burly dude.
Okay.
He was
A
actually
big burly dude in hockey.
So
He's pretty big.
I like to look at the back of their jerseys and I'm like, wow, what a name. And then I try to
Because some of them
say
have
them.
wild names
Right?
too.
This one stuck out the most.
Hold on, before you say it, look it up and show her how
Okay.
What he looks like or what?
No,
how
the
to
name.
spell the name.
Oh, no. I'm not looking on IMDb.
You guys
No,
need
no,
to watch.
just-
Now
just
that I'm
Google
watching
right
like
there.
part of the trailer, you guys need to watch that movie.
No.
Yeah.
So Dustin.
I don't know what you're
Right
aiming
there.
for, but
So
How would you say that?
How would you say that name?
okay.
Remember, it's Bufflin.
He kind of looks like The Weeknd.
Okay,
a little
first of
bit,
all,
yeah, he does.
No, it's not.
Dustin Bufflin.
Nope, that's not how you say that.
You wanna hear how I
because someone
said it?
messed it up. Because that's definitely Bifluglian or something.
Oh,
Like, that's like
you're nicer than me.
So how did you say it?
By Fuglian.
well.
Go
you
down.
know,
Does it show?
could.
Does it show any like? This is how you say his name. Probably
I
if
could
you
Google
went.
it.
Hold on. Go down. Go down.
It
You're
might-
on
yeah, it
Google.
might say so.
Right there. Go to Wikipedia.
Oh yeah, sometimes
Right
they
where
do
you're-
say it.
yeah.
Yeah, sometimes they do say it on there. Right there.
Bufflin.
Shut the okay, but no.
Bufflin.
Bufflin.
How?
Because
Where is he
it's-
from?
So he's born in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
What the? Then no.
Hold on,
What's
but
his
that doesn't mean-
heritage?
yeah, that
what's
doesn't
his? Or Norwegian.
Norwegian. So that would make sense
Wait,
if
his
it's
mom
Norwegian.
and his dad. Oh, Norwegian and Swedish and African American. So it was probably maybe it was like. That's no way. Although that does seem like some Norwegian and Swedish bullshit. Like putting all those letters in there and not using
You
them.
wouldn't think, though.
You wouldn't think.
No.
According to Ben
Caveat.
Mankiewicz, host on Turner Classic Movies.
Oh, wait, pause. That's what I was saying. The caveat to my dogs
Sorry.
being a very smart dog breed is they are also a chaotic dog breed.
Chaotic.
So I would think unless they found someone who already had Australian Shepherds on the circuit or already had a dog trainer that was already working with Australian Shepherds, you can't just go and find
So,
a Australian Shepherd.
That's why I'm
like,
saying
there's got to
but
be
that's
one
why I'm
that's
saying,
already like
imagine that extra trait to the movie. Like for us, they would have been a dachshund,
Oh, yeah. Oh,
obviously.
yeah.
And they're very hard to train because they're very stubborn dogs. Although ours, rest in peace, was a very great dog. And he was very lovable. But like imagine seeing that extra thing like at the dog show, like your breed of
when
dog like going crazy.
When I've seen like my breed of dog in like the actual dog shows and stuff though, and it would have happened in the movie too, is when they don't even get like top 3 billing, I'm like, fuck this show.
I know, I feel the same way.
That thing,
No.
that dog, no.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, although a
Thing
lot
looks
of
like an
and
alien.
and the herding, the working categories are
That's yours.
tough.
So ours is
those are
hound.
usually tough,
The hound. The dash
which
hound.
is crazy because that's such a like you've got
Wide
one's this
open.
big and one's fucking this big, like. But the herding breeds, a lot of them are the same
size.
style
Right.
of dog.
Yeah.
But but it's very colorful. And it's very,
Colorful.
but
I
it's
like
also because they all are different types of working dogs.
I
like
would
they're
have
all
liked to-
they're all different herding. They herd different things. They hunt different things. Like it's a
Right.
bunch of like different. Like,
I would have liked to have seen that aspect of the movie. That would have added a different dimension
Sure,
to
but
it,
it's
right?
about the people.
Yeah, I
You
know,
what mean?
but
like
still.
it's not
They're
about whatever it's
fine,
about.
but like
yeah.
Fine
I do
people.
like that they didn't go too full force in trying to match the people to the dog.
I'll
Do
give
you know what I
that.
mean?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
some
yeah.
of those movies do that. Like I always think of like 101 Dalmatians where he's like trying to find Pongo's like looking out the window trying to find a girlfriend for his owner.
Yeah.
And all of the women look like their dogs. Like they all look the same.
But I will say,
I will say.
they did match the dogs up pretty well with the people that they were with, because if you think of the Basset Hound, look at the type of guy that he was with, like Middle America,
Or the blood
whatever, the blood,
Yeah, yeah.
I like my
whatever,
nuts.
You're right,
whatever.
right, yeah.
So, and then like the Shih Tzus, which we had when I was younger,
Gave them the
And the
stereotypical
prissy-
prissy gay guys. Yeah.
right? So they did well.
And
with
then the
that.
poodle, the standard
Yep.
poodle
Yes.
with the very wealthy
Yeah.
household, like they did it a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honest to God,
Yeah.
the dog that won is the dog I would have picked to win. Like he is so cute.
he is.
He is so cute, and you don't see that dog. That's not
He's
a
like a
dog you
mutt
see
to
in a lot
me,
of.
right?
It was a
What is he technically?
Norwegian, which is funny.
Cattle dog.
Oh yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
It was a Norwegian something. He's not a cattle dog. He's way too small to be a cat. He'll get crushed.
Well, look at
But
dash
he's-
hounds. They're badger hunters.
But at least a badger is only twice their size, not fucking 17 times their size. But it was a Norwegian something. I only know that because of the podium behind them. Like I looked I think it was Norwegian something or North something. But you don't. That's not a dog that you just see. Like people have, I feel like. I don't know. I've never met anyone who has a dog that looks like that.
No.
I've never seen that dog in like movies, TV shows.
But to me, that was like a
Poodles,
mutt dog.
Yes. Bloodhounds, yes.
Yeah.
Shih Tzus, yes. Like you see all of those dogs, and that one, Weimaraners even.
Weimaraners.
Weimaraners were that was the face of the like
Juno
the
movie, remember?
Sesame Street things where they would put the dogs on the
Oh, really?
on the people's bodies. Remember, it was like the dog's head, but it was like someone behind them doing the arms. You remember that? I actually did I took a photography class at CSM, and it was history photography, and I wish I hadn't because I thought it was going to be more interesting. But
That's like
it was,
me with art history.
It
Why
was
did I take that?
it was like, but the report that I did, I chose this photographer who his artwork was he used his Weimaraners, and I think that's what the Sesame Street those skits were based off of, was him, and he would do portraits, and his dogs would be in people scenarios, like he would have like a suit. And the dog's head would be there, but he would be sitting at like a desk or
Never
whatever,
knew.
like stuff like that. And or that famous, you might have seen the one. I think the more famous one is where it's that old painting or photograph where it's the guy with the pitchfork. It's the farmer,
yeah,
the
yeah.
farmers.
His
Yeah, he did that, but with his dogs, and I think that's one of the more well known ones. But they did like skits. So it wasn't pictures, it was actual like video with Weimaraners. I think it was Sesame. It was one of those like PBS type of things where it was Weimaraners but it was people sitting behind them, so the arms were human arms, and they would be doing things like at the table, and the Weimaraners were sitting
I
there
remember.
also in the
Yes,
outfits, but they were kind of
yes.
like looking at the table, and the arms were doing the stuff.
Yes.
But Weimaraners, so even that one has been in a lot of stuff. But that breed, whatever it was, I don't remember. I've never seen. You don't see that breed,
I did not know.
and it was adorable. Its little face, adorable, with its little
Thingies.
spiky little furs. So cute.
So cute.
I wonder if it was soft or if it was like the wiry, like
Probably wiry.
because there were some times where it looked like it would be, but then sometimes when they would pick him up, where the fur
Yeah.
moved like it was soft
Oh, yeah. I like it. Anyways,
really
back to
cute.
my last.
with its little pointy ears.
According to Ben Mankiewicz,
still
however
on
you say it,
theme.
host of Turner Classic Movies, all of the dogs used as show dogs were indeed show dogs, except for one. At the last minute, there needed to be a replacement for one woman who pulled her poodle upon learning that her dog was not going to be the winner of
Oh,
a fake
shut
dog
up! It was
show.
a movie. You still would have been. You and your dog still would have been in a movie. That is so ridiculous.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got paid.
But
Wow.
she wasn't going to win, so she said, "No, I'm out.
Wow,
My poodle needs to win."
that's ridiculous.
It's hilarious.
So it was the poodle then.
Yeah.
Clearly that they had to swap out.
Clearly.
That's wild.
Yep. Final.
I do like that the one that was the known champion, the dog that played the known champion in
Yep.
the movie, was the only one that was not a dog show dog in real life.
which is funny.
That's funny.
Which would have been, but
Did you see? There was one point, I think it was when Eugene Levy maybe was going back to his in the last round. The poodle was jumping on Jane Lynch, and I remember being like, "Well, you can't. I mean, it is what it is. Like like they kept it in the movie, and I remember in my mind being like, show dogs don't do that. Like you keep them
Right.
Like, but now it almost kind of makes sense because that dog was not a trained show dog, possibly not even
who knows?
a trained dog, just a
Correct.
normal
Just a dog.
basic obedience train.
They just cut it
So
up, made it
almost
look
makes
nice.
more sense now when I caught that the dog jumped on that it was the only one that wasn't actually show trained.
Final decision. Out of 10. Would we recommend it? Is this a must watch or a skip? Tara, you picked it. Go first.
I'm gonna say it's a must watch because I do think it's a cult classic.
Okay.
I do think if somebody, I do feel like I would be able to read someone enough to know that like if they would watch it or if they would like it or not, like based off of their preferences of other movies and their humor style. But I feel like for the most part, I think it's a must watch. I think it's just one of those movies where it kind of speaks for itself. Like it cult classic is the best way I can say it. Like I,
mean,
just
yeah,
feel like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just one of those ones where it may not have been like a blockbuster or major mainstream hit, but it's like Mallrats to me. It's like one of those ones where it's just like you need to see it. Like how have you
Everyone's
not?
probably seen it one time or another.
Yeah, and if you haven't, you need to get on the same page as the rest of the world. Like just watch it, even if you don't like it. I feel like you need to see it. It needs to be one that's in your back pocket. You've seen before, but I will give it a 7.5.
7.5.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a 7.5. I think. I mean, I think that it's. I like it more than a 7, but 8 is high for me, especially with comedies. I feel like so I'm gonna give it a 7.5. I like a lot of the things in the movie. I like the dry humor. Not everybody would, but I do. And I did today get emotional when I watched when they won. So there's some heartfelt stuff in there too.
2. Tiffany?
that's-
I'm sorry.
I would give it I'll give it an even 7.
Even 7.
Yes.
We're along at least
Yeah.
the same like,
Yeah.
lines. Yep.
It's sometimes that movie I watch when I'm bored. Gives me a little comic relief.
Comic relief.
I do feel like it's a good comfort because it's not
It is.
busy.
And
It's-
like
it's
you
like
said,
it's
With the shows that we watch, if I close my eyes, I know what's happening with this movie.
you can still enjoy it.
I still, yeah.
We need to. I know we haven't acknowledged it. We need to talk about this Jennifer Coolidge vibe that you we had here.
Yeah, I didn't even talk about that.
That's
That's why I
spot
wore it.
on Jennifer Coolidge,
Yeah.
especially in this movie.
I should have wore a tiara too.
It's actually it's almost very. You know what? You haven't watched it yet. It almost fits the White Lotus vibe of her too.
Oh, okay. See, I need to watch
There you
it.
go.
And a little Stifler's mom.
A little.
If you
not
unzipped it,
that.
if you unzipped it a little bit more,
Yeah.
maybe some Stifler. More. Although she is, at least in the first one, she's very like she's got like a
She's
almost like a
conservative.
working woman
Oh, yeah.
like
The
vibe.
only
like
parts
she's
I've
an office, like
seen-
she's a business lady.
Yeah, the only parts I've seen for that, as far as reviews, was that she was like obsessive with her masseuse woman
in White Lotus.
in White Lotus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in like a good way. It's not like a.
Yeah. No. Not. Yeah.
It's not in like a.
'Cause she's
I own
very
you,
good at
but
her
like,
job.
Yes, yeah, but she's really enjoyable in both. I mean, she's it's Jennifer Coolidge,
Right.
So, duh,
Right.
duh,
Right.
duh.
I'm going to give this movie a 7.5. I think this is a recommend, not a must watch, but a high, very high recommend because some people don't like that style
And
of
that's,
super
and that's
dry.
so kind of along the same of what I was saying. Like, I do feel like I could tell if somebody would dislike it based off the people I know, but I still feel like I want everyone to have seen it.
Right.
Like,
I'm with you.
But
I'm
I
with
get
you.
what you're saying. Like, you know who you would recommend it to. Versus
Exactly,
who you
right. So
wouldn't.
that's why I can't say this is a must watch because I
Right.
don't think everybody, like apparently that one guy is going to, rub them the right or
That
wrong
Karen
way.
or Brad.
Yeah,
or
I
whatever
would
the
not
fuck it
force
is.
someone to watch this.
Right. So something about the dry and serious tone while being so stupid is hilarious and charming at the same time for me. The amount of great actors just riffing off the cuff with some of the best straight-faced dialogue that would make anyone bust out into laughs is what this movie really shines with. Also, having dogs throughout this movie, come on.
I couldn't like that.
7.5 for me. 7.5. Look at that. I think this
7.
might be the most consistent kind of thing we've had here. I think there was one other movie that was almost all the same, but for the most part, look at us.
What a good day. It was a dog-filled day for me.
Yeah. I will say there were parts where like my dogs would like, so not Jade as much, but Cooper specifically and Rhodey a little bit, but Cooper very much so. If there are animals on the TV, he is
In it.
no, he's upset.
Oh.
He's upset about it.
Oh, Gunnar
He
used to love it.
He notices,
fucking watch those
but
dogs.
but it is also very like the intelligence to recognize that that's an animal up there, because he doesn't do it with cartoon animals and stuff.
Well, you got to think they
But a
only
real
see
animal-
certain colors. Like people say bluey is easy for dogs to see and they enjoy
Not
it.
only that, but especially when they start, like if the dog barks on the screen or something, or if an animal
He
makes
used to
noise.
rile
But
Gunnar up.
he will get. So our TV's up on the wall, so like he's down under it, obviously. But he'll jump off the couch, pick up one of his toys.
Get close to it.
Yes, get close to the TV, pick up one of the toys, and when the dog comes on the screen, he shakes his toy. He's like, "This is what I think of you." Like he shakes his toy, so he redirects his energy or frustration. But he is very much aware when there are animals on the screen.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how are you so smart to be aware that it's an animal, but not smart enough to realize it's not here?
I
Like
think
you
most-
don't need to engage with it.
Right. I
Like,
think most dogs are like that, honestly.
We've Skyped with my parents before, and he recognized that it was my parents up on the TV, but did not he kept trying to go where are behind me. He was like, where are they? Yeah.
That's funny. Well, next week, it's going to be a re-review time. Now,
we
Tiffany.
know?
Well, no, because we got to do the thing now that we're going to be doing. Tiffany, can you go to the www.thedecisionreel.com? If you go to our website, you can go to a certain spot of our website, which is going to show all of our scores, our previous scores. At the bottom of that, there's going to be a round roulette wheel, if you will.
Yeah, we
of
said we were going to do
previous The Decision Reel.
Oh, it's the. I'm so sorry.
Oh man, The Decision Reel, where you can pick. So yeah, if you go
Where would you
to
like me to
our
go?
scores. Oh, hold on, real quick. Look at this right here.
Look at
We are
this.
the #1 podcast of the month this month on Good Pods, and we've been in the top 3 podcasts for the last 6 months.
Wow.
Overall on Good
What
Pods.
what is going
So Good Pods is a podcasting app that
another-
you can listen and do whatever you want with there. So yeah, go to our scores. Now, if we go all the way down to the bottom, we can keep going. But if you can look here, this is our top stuff.
Wayne's World.
Yeah,
almost famous? Look at that.
you can look at all of our old.
One of
scores.
my-
We got
one of-
fucking a lot of shit here.
One of my proudest moments on this show is not only did I pick Almost Famous that none of you had seen,
Yes.
but that I introduced it to you and you loved it enough that it's in our top 10 reviews. Actually, was it top 5?
Yeah.
It was number 4 or something,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
So again, if you look here, this is a fun page to look at because you can see everything
The
that
Love
we give.
Groovers.
I would like to
The
can
Love Groovers
you just
3.6.
real quick, can you scroll up for me just real
Yeah,
quick?
scroll up for her to give her.
I'd like to
give
know
her
how many of these were my picks. Jurassic
Jurassic
Park.
was not. That
No,
was a
it was the
Wally
last
pick.
one.
Hereditary?
No, Jurassic Park was
Wally's pick.
Oh no,
Almost
we
Famous?
did the
Was
other.
that yours?
That was
Almost
mine.
Famous. That's the only one up there, I think. No, The Departed. That might be gone though. This hasn't been updated in a while. This is real top 10 right now. Look, I got a lot going on.
Well, and what sucks is I feel like had we been full team the day we did League of Their Own, I feel like it would have been up there.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
But
if
it was just the two of us. So
yeah, if you keep going all the way down, keep going because there's a lot there.
Look at all these movies.
we've gone through
over
it.
200 movies
We've
at
gone
this point.
through it.
Keep going. Keep
like
going.
all the way. Oh, good.
Oh.
Look at this. Look at this.
Oh.
Do I spin?
Well, hold on. Go back up. Oh, full view. Click on full view there at the bottom. Full view.
Get off.
Damn. Stupid taskbar.
I know. All right, now you can hit spin, and let's see what the next movie is going to be this week. It's spinning.
Oh.
Oh, fuck yeah!
So it looks like we're doing a re-review of
Hell
Smoking
yeah!
Why did I
Aces.
remove
It's all good.
It just changed it. Yeah. Hell yeah!
Wait, have I seen that?
Yeah, I can't believe it's been that long since we reviewed that movie.
Ooh,
36,
hell
episode 36.
Yeah, I'm excited because
Feels
I wasn't.
like-
You weren't here for that one, were
Nope.
you?
No, that was a long time ago.
Oh, it's
so-
got your boy in it.
Yeah, it does.
Plus, I love Jeremy Piven. Plus, I love him too. Chris Pine.
Chris Pine.
There's honestly, there's so
when
many.
a Las Vegas performer turned snitch named Buddy Israel decides to turn state's evidence and testify against mob, it seems that a whole lot of people would like to make sure he's no longer breathing.
I mean, yes, at the basic level, that I guess is what happens. There's
On a
so
basic
many
level.
good things about this movie.
I've never seen it.
I
Ben
can
Affleck's
already
in
tell
it
you
too.
right now who my least favorite character is, and it's that fucking
You've
karate
seen
kid. But
Ben Affleck's in it. You white, you Ben Affleck.
Karate Kid's in it?
Yeah.
no, the kid who
What?
plays karate.
Oh, I was like, how could you not like
No,
him?
the child, and the only child that I think is in the movie is my least favorite part of the entire movie.
Anyways, next week,
So
re-review
good.
Smoking Aces. First time Tara's going to review a Ryan Reynolds movie, right? Like first time ever.
Yeah, I've no idea who even is that. I don't even know.
But thanks for listening.
Where's he
Thanks for
from?
tuning in. If you want to, give us a subscribe.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Tiffany, for being on 2 weeks in a row.
You're welcome.
Thanks for dressing up
She's
the
with
part.
us now. She's done with us.
Yeah, she's like, never again.
It'll be another year now because she's like 2 in a row.
It's been
Too much.
Two in
yeah,
a
too
row.
much.
You're
Too much.
asking a lot of me.
Ugh.
You're
Yeah.
asking a lot.
Too much.
No, it wasn't that bad.
A much too much.
We just need to invite her more so she brings the wine.
Or that. I like that.
I brought a lot of it. It's her
You're
turn.
right.
I bring the wine. I bring the fun stuff.
Yeah. Anyways,
Next time, maybe she'll bring dessert.
maybe. And then we're going to be eating again on the podcast because people like to hear us eating. So
Oh, no.
look out for us
Mukbang.
next week. Thanks again. God damn it.
No, don't
Bye.
do that. Stop it. Bye.